Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? It's Black Flags Matter here, and we have a special little live stream on this channel right now. For Wednesday's live stream, our NASCAR weekly live stream, we have on here. We have two special guests on this channel. We have the Iceberg and DannyBTalks. So, go ahead.
Hey guys, how are you?
What's up? Yeah, I realized I had the stream on another thing, so I could see the
Iceberg and
I had it on another tab, so I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna keep watching the chat. Oh crap, I left the volume on. Damn it! And then it's like, okay, so yeah, that's my intro because I suck at intros. So
off to a smooth start already.
And then check out my shirt. I finally got it like good. So here you go.
All right. I know some of you guys are probably asking where Real Radman is. I thought he was going to be the special guest, but I don't know. He might come, he might not come. So in the meantime, it's just us, and that's all you pretty much need. So, all right. So let's get started. So obviously, the big news this week, NASCAR is up for sale. So according to an article and on Twitter, as of yesterday, Goldman & Sachs, they are currently in negotiations with the France family to buy a majority stake in NASCAR, not the whole thing, just a majority stake. So probably majority is 51%, so somewhere around there. So let's get started with DannyBTalks. Just go ahead and talk about, what do you think of the move?
It's definitely pretty interesting to see, really, it's weird because a lot of fans have kind of, in a way, wanted this sport to be under new direction, under new leadership for a while, and now it's like wishes being granted. But the thing is, it cannot be cheap to buy a sport that has as big of a name as NASCAR. Yeah, it's dying, but it still has probably one of the biggest names as far as a sports brand out there. Really, to think of one person who would be able to buy a thing like this, it's really hard to do. A couple of investors that really come to my mind just off the top of my head is Johnny Morris, who focuses a lot. He's the owner of Bass Pro Shops and all the locations that they have. And this man has a lot of money. He's up there and one of the richest men in the world now, all because of Bass Pro Shops. And it's not just Bass Pro Shops. He owns a lot of other brands too and a lot of other companies. And of course, he loves NASCAR. He's had a big presence in NASCAR over the years. Currently, the sponsor of Martin Truex Jr. We've seen him on Tony Stewart. We've seen him with Jamie McMurray for a while. He's with the Dillon guys. He's got a big relationship within auto racing. He could be someone who his corporation would be a good idea to maybe potentially look in that route, but be wait and see if he'd want to do it. Other than him, though, as far as like people that I know would have a lot of money, would love to be a part of something like that, can't really see too many other people. For some reason, Vince McMahon wants to come to my mind, but he's already dealing with WWE and bringing back the XFL. So I don't really think that would work out. If this had been an option like a couple of years ago, maybe, but he's already got too much on his plate right now. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, if he wasn't president, maybe Donald Trump, but wouldn't say that right now. That would work out. The
SJWs would go hella crazy over that one.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to see.
They already think NASCAR is nothing but a redneck hillbilly racist sport, and only actually had someone actually tell me at school, like, don't only sister fuckers watch that? I'm like, dude, what is your problem? Like, no, obviously not. And so yeah, but I don't
even have a sister.
Yeah, I know, right? But look, I think these new investors, they really need to just get in here. I think they have a great opportunity with this. Okay, NASCAR, even though it's been losing ratings and it's considered half dead to me, it's still the biggest motorsport in all of the United States of America, which is pretty impressive. It just shows how big it was in the early 2000s and the late 90s too. So I know it's been losing some it's been losing a ton of ratings on TV and stuff, and some people are pretty much less interested in it. But I think if these investors can just come in, just listen to the fans, listen to what they have to say, and give them what they want, I'm not going to say you're going to get all of your viewers back, but I think you're going to get quite a good amount of your old viewership back too.
You want a big way to suddenly bring in fans. Second we get a new owner, they announce that they're getting rid of the playoffs. Even though I'm kind of okay with the playoffs, that would be the way to bring back everybody. I mean, I can do it either way, but that would be the way to bring back an instant 100,000 fans.
Exactly. Exactly. Just get rid of the chase and stuff, and just pretty much just go back to a traditional playoff system.
Yeah.
Now, if we want to keep, like, we want to keep stages to give out certain amount of points, maybe to just reward like your whole season, like staying consistent throughout a race. But just get rid of the playoffs for one thing. I think it would change a lot.
Yeah, and then on top of that, one thing that I don't know how this plays into it is that, what do you call is it Speedway Motorsports, or is it like IS whatever? Which one is the France family owned?
Yeah, I don't know,
because I mean that's
I think they're with ISM. I think Speedway Motorsports is like
Bruton Smith.
Bruton Smith, that's who that is.
Yeah, so that's a huge part, is that you got about half the schedule now. Homestead is one of them. The two plate tracks, tons of them, like ton of good tracks are owned by them. So you have to also wonder that if the France family loses majority stake in the sport in general, could a way to hold power over the new investors be that, okay, you can have this much, but you don't get to race at our tracks unless it's the dates we want. And then that's going to be something that Bruton Smith is going to have a problem with. And so I think the first few years of this, there's going to be a huge there's going to be a lot of controversy, especially with scheduling. And I wouldn't be surprised if some tracks are held out and stuff, and they have to go to different ones.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. So there was an article written by someone at NASCAR on NBC, and they pretty much showed what Kevin Harvick said last night on his radio show. And he basically said that when the new investors or the new owners come in, he said, here are some 3 good ideas. One, he said, is downsizing, which I actually didn't even know what downsizing really meant until I called my mom and asked her. But yeah, so pretty much downsizing, that would mean probably would have to lay off a few some employees, maybe cut down on the schedule, maybe cut down on some of the tracks, and also try and cut down on some of the costs, because how much does it cost to run just one Cup Series team a race?
$1 million a team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Damn. Oh, wow. I didn't even know it was that much.
Sponsorships are about $1 million a race for a primary sponsor alone.
Yeah, about the smallest sponsorship you can get is about $2,000 for one race.
That's just one of the throwaway ones, like, back here or like over here or something. So. It's expensive. They need, like Humpy Wheeler said this about 5 or 6 years ago when he was making videos, is that they need, like, you have certain parts in the cars now that costs like $600 that you could go and buy at O'Reilly for like $20.
Yeah, I heard about that. Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's certain sponsors want certain amounts, or like teams want to get that much ahead. But if NASCAR is going to make anything mandatory, make something mandatory that saves the team's money. I mean, because think about that. You do that for what, 36 races, about let's just round it to 550. I want to do this really quick. Let's just round it to 550. God, freaking phone. I hate my phone. Never mind. Yeah, fuck, whatever. The terms and conditions came up. Okay, we're finally at the calculator. Right? Technology is hard. So like 550 times 36, that's almost $20,000 a year that the teams could save. Wow. Now, while that's not much in the grand scheme of things, I mean, you could hire one more guy probably in the shop if you did small cuts like that at just little spots. I think that that's the problem, is the sport grew itself so big, not expecting to ever fall down. Like in the early 2000s, they just kept expanding and expanding and expanding. So like tracks like Talladega would hold like 150,000 people. Now it only, they've had to downsize from there and take seats out. It only holds 80,000 now. So I think what they need to do is set a number get it like for instance, New Hampshire holds 90,000. They can't have that many. Take out all the seats except the front stretch. Might be like create demand for it for people who want to be there. You have one race, so we'll see how many people come to it. But if not many people come to it, which I don't expect many will because it's boring as hell.
Yeah.
Cut out those corner seats, have just the front stretch, create a demand. Create a demand until the actual demand comes back.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And then the second thing he was talking about is that I read about is that they are, I don't know, if a new investor comes in, they should really consider lowering ticket prices because it's pretty damn expensive. Like even for like one of those high seats at my home track of Las Vegas Motor Speedway, just for those seats, it's like $100 a seat or like 150 or something like that. It's just really
expensive. NASCAR can't even really mandate that. That does come down to the individual tracks and how they're operated, though.
Oh, here's another one. Here's it's a Fox Business and Yahoo Finance in an article. It says NASCAR for sale. Ex-McDonald's CEO Ed Renzi wants in.
Really?
That's what it says. I don't know how true it is, but because I know tell with all the fake news nowadays.
Because I know on Fox Business, that one lady went at Brian France's neck. Like she was like, "Yeah, Brian France pretty much." I don't know. Have you guys seen that video?
Is it the one who is like always covers NASCAR stuff on Fox if they ever have it on? Because like that chick, I know she's
I can't remember her name, but I mean on Fox Business, she did say that Brian France basically killed the sport. His father and his grandfather basically built. And
yeah, they're spinning like tops in their graves right now.
Yeah, I mean, no, they've been spinning in their graves probably for like the past decade, I would say. Probably, right around maybe 07, 2008, something like that.
What does ISM stand for? Oh, International Speedway Corporation.
There we go.
I'm going to go on the site, and I'm going to read off the tracks that there might be problems with because there's a lot of them on here. Except
Eric's on vacation. Some people are asking, where is Eric? He's on vacation. Where is he again?
Disney World, I think.
Over the hills and far away.
Yeah, he's at Disney World.
He's at the zoo playing with the giraffes.
All right, let's see. God, their website sucks. Okay, ISC tracks. ISC, that's what it was. ISM is the track. Okay, I'll just read all of them. Auto Club, Chicagoland, Darlington, Daytona, Homestead, ISM, Kansas, Martinsville, Michigan, Richmond, Route 66 Raceway, Talladega, and Watkins Glen.
Route 66 Raceway? Where's that?
I'll check it after I count this really quick.
Like a short track or something? Like some local?
I'm assuming. Okay, let's see really quick. So Auto Club's one race, Chicagoland, Darlington, Daytona, Homestead, ISM, Kansas, Martinsville, Michigan, Richmond, Talladega, Watkins Glen. So you've got 19 of the races that could possibly, if ISC decides to hold out, because the Frances have had such great ideas in the past. You could realistically have to go down to a 17 race schedule for a year if ISC decides not to race. So even though they're selling it, if ISC is not part of the bargain, they still hold the most power in the sport.
See, I don't know if they would necessarily have to cut down to 17. I think at that point, they would probably honestly negotiate contracts with some other tracks that we haven't seen in a long time. Like that if that happens, that might honestly be someone like Nashville Fairgrounds' best chance of getting a Sprint Cup race, or not Sprint Cup, whatever it's called now.
Monster, yeah.
Whatever it would be called tomorrow too. I'm looking really quick at Route 66. I think it's like a drag strip. That'd be a fun NASCAR race. No, but that's the thing is like with this kind of stuff, unless they know that far in advance that that like a strike or a holdout is coming, they won't have time. I mean, NASCAR races they need about a year to 6 months to be ready. So maybe at the back end of the schedule they can have them. But I mean, you're taking out huge races. You're taking out the Labor Day race at Darlington. You're taking out the dates like the Daytona 500. That sets the tone for the season.
Yeah, you cannot start the season without the Daytona 500.
Oh yeah, let's see. I couldn't go to any of the races I usually go to because I go to Chicagoland and Michigan all the time, and then Martinsville is like basically option 3. So But I mean, you look at like pretty awesome races have been going on at Auto Club the last 6 or 7 years. So that's a good race that would be taken out. Chicagoland, even though a lot of people see it as a cookie cutter, maybe this is me being biased, I see it as underrated. You're taking out the Southern 500, Daytona 500, Firecracker 400. You're taking the finale at Homestead away. No one cares about Phoenix. No one cares about Kansas.
Is Talladega owned by them too?
Yep, you're taking all the plate tracks out. You're taking
out Martinsville
and Richmond, Michigan. So that's a big one for all the manufacturers. So you're taking that one away.
It would come down to some trucks getting 3 dates.
The biggest race you'd have left is the Bristol night race. Or well, I don't count really Indianapolis as being that big a race, just because and it's not no one like you think NASCAR and it's like, okay, name me a NASCAR track. Indianapolis is one of the lowest on there. I've went on this before. I think they should leave it. It's a failed experiment. Just cut your losses.
It was good at first because NASCAR was huge back in the day, but then in recent years it's not really all that much of a big race to me. I mean, there's not that many people in the stands anyways. And how much? I mean, it holds like 300,000, something like that?
Or 250,000 people in the stands alone, not to mention the infield is probably another 50,000.
What do you have, last race, 30,000 people maybe less than that?
Not even. You have 1,000. It just incredible how much it's fallen. So 2008, the whole tire debacle, it still had 225K probably. I mean, it had tons. Next race was about 50,000 lower, but still looked really full. 2010, 2011, 12, those all look pretty good. And then it's 13 and 14, it started to fall. But 15, 16, and last year, place is a friggin' ghost town. I could probably go in there, throw, have an asteroid go in there, and you wouldn't have any casualties. That place is just a ghost town. There's freaking, dust devils flying around through there.
Yeah, it's just really sad just to see where the state of the sport is in general too.
Yeah, and they keep showing all these pictures on here, on this ISC site. It's the Chicagoland one, and the Auto Club one. The newest pictures they have is 2009. When you're just looking at just the tracks that come up, and then you got Kansas. What comes up is the freaking casino outside of Kansas. That's the only reason it has 2 dates is because Brian France's sister had that casino put in there and they needed money to pay that off. Kansas should have 1 date, and if you have to, make it during the summer so it's hotter and slicker out. That date they had in 2011, the date they had in 2011, right after the Coke 600, perfect. It's right as this part of the country in the Midwest is starting to get really warm. There's not much rain going, the rainy part of the year is the spring, but it's just at the tail end of that, so you're not really having to deal with weather as much. It's the dates they have now, a night race at this point, you're racing at 50, 60 degrees. That place is going to have so much grip, you'd have to have cars basically hitting each other to get them off the good groove. They're idiots with the scheduling. They're stupid.
Look, I'm all for just bringing back. We need more short tracks on the schedule. I don't think we have enough. We don't have nearly enough as we used to.
There were 3, I think.
Yeah, and that's basically the tracks that NASCAR was built off of. You see, NASCAR pretty much created its own problems. Pretty much it was due to their huge boom in the late '90s and early 2000s. When that happened, we got tracks in Texas, in California. California is a 2-mile track, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing is they created them in the same, what they call the cookie cutter format, which just allows for more seating and it's a bigger racetrack. Doesn't necessarily mean that the racing is that good.
Exactly. That's my point, because now we have all these huge racetracks in these huge markets like Las Vegas, California, Texas, all those places, and we can't even and the racing it's just not as great. It's not as great as it used to be.
You can still have a small track and have a lot of seats. Just look at Bristol. You want that? Exactly. Build freaking stadiums. Do it.
Exactly. I'm all for just abandoning Las Vegas Motor Speedway and just building a short track out here because it makes perfect sense because, all right, build a short track and put like 70,000 seats in there, because now Las Vegas took out over half their seats. So now you only have 70,000. And I mean, the racing is nowhere. It's not, I mean, I only saw like one green flag lap pass pretty much the whole race. Like,
well, what do you think of when you think of, like, just as an outsider, what do outsiders think of Las Vegas? They think of like gambling, taking chances. Not like, oh yeah, we're gambling on fuel mileage. That's yawn. They think of entertainment also with Las Vegas. Think you want something as like a gambling entertainment value, have a chase race in a bull ring in Las Vegas. You know how much money that'd bring in?
Yeah.
Well, looking at the SMI Speedway tracks. So if ISC were to pull out and do a strike, because I think that's a very like real chance of that happening, I think, because you know the Frances are still going to want to be like, hey, we have the power to do whatever we want here. So you'd have Atlanta, which I like Atlanta, but the last few years it's been pretty bad. Bristol, I like Bristol. Charlotte, I've hated Charlotte since the first time I watched it. Kentucky doesn't even deserve to be on the schedule. Vegas, another cookie cutter, which to be fair, like of the cookie cutter tracks, Vegas is definitely one of the higher up ones when it comes to value. New Hampshire, yawn. Sonoma, probably the most entertaining track other than Bristol on this list, and Texas. And then with that, you also have the independent tracks like Pocono, Indianapolis. I'm probably forgetting one or two here or there, but I mean, you don't have that big of a variety. You're basically left with the cookie cutters.
Glen independent?
Watkins Glen is ISC.
Okay.
I'm also looking in the comments right now. People are saying, "Oh, bring back North Wilkesboro." Look, North Wilkesboro's not coming back ever again. Okay.
Have you seen North Wilkesboro anytime recently?
Here, I'll bring up a picture really quick.
Yeah. Go Google North Wilkesboro and see what it's like today. They haven't had a race since like 2011. They were only open for a little bit and then they closed. Like, I guess they couldn't draw enough of their local fans to come out and see the local races.
All right, y'all want me to put it on here really quick?
Same for Rockingham for that. Same for Rockingham for that matter. It hadn't been too long since they had a truck series race there, but even then, Rockingham has been left of like no maintenance ever since.
All right, 1 second. I'm gonna screen share really quick.
Okay.
And then I have a picture. Can y'all see it really well?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. I mean,
that place ain't holding a NASCAR race anytime soon.
The rundown track in the last Cars movie. Actually, I read an article about this because I found it really cool. Was based like they have concept art for it. What does that look like to you guys?
North Wilkesboro.
Yep.
That is about the biggest impact North Wilkesboro is going to have in NASCAR for at least 25 years.
Yep.
And I heard rumors that they're going to basically just demolish the whole thing, aren't they?
Yeah, because somebody brought it up.
They're going to do what they did with Texas World Speedway and demolish it. Texas World Speedway is actually in the current process of being demolished, from what I understand.
Damn, I didn't even know that place was still around.
Yeah, I think when the whole flooding happened in Houston, it got used as like a big parking lot area for cars. But after they got those moved out of there, they just started tearing it down.
Man, it's really sad.
Well, I mean, across the country, short tracks are just dying out. I mean, it's just it's sad, but
over the weekend, the Lucas Oil Late Model Series was here at my local dirt track. I got to go experience that. It was on this past Friday night. Honestly, that was a great experience. Honestly, as far as when you look at the track and compare it to the crowd it's got, that place was standing room only. I mean, it's getting to a point where, yeah, when you compare the track size, it seems like when you compare how many people you can fit there, it doesn't seem that big. But the percentage-wise of the fans compared to the facility itself is giant. I mean, that series is going in a positive direction right now, and it has been for years. And I granted, dirt track racing isn't ever going to be a serious threat to NASCAR, but they are doing things that are gaining more and more fans, and where NASCAR is losing more.
You know what track has still been kept up with a little bit? I know this is, again, another stretch, but Rockingham. People granted, it's growing over a little, but I mean, it's been kept up with, and with the truck race there. If they ever were to go back to Rockingham, they cannot do what they did last time and just half-ass it by putting it in the truck series. Because as much as I like the trucks, like who's going to be like, oh boy, the truck series is in town. Oh, I get to see Matt Crafton. Yes.
Johnny Sauter.
John West Townley.
Jennifer Jo Cobb.
I
Benning.
will say this weekend, Bubba Wallace is running in the truck series race at Kansas.
Is he? Okay.
Yep, and the number 20 truck.
Oh, maybe he might win. Who knows? That'd be cool.
Yeah, you know what? You know one's so small, but at the same time, I would love to see like an all-star race on is South Boston.
Oh yeah,
that would be
that's
fucking
amazing.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Oh, I bet you like guys like Gordon and Junior and Edwards would come out of retirement to be in that race.
Probably.
Like that would be freaking awesome. Like,
yeah.
Going back to it, it's like there's a lot more in play than just the Frances are losing a little bit of power, and like they could actually hypothetically have more power at this point. Because I mean, there's so many good tracks that they own. And it was really smart of them to do that. Like, you know, maybe it probably wasn't meant to. It was just like, oh, we're just going to build them and have them. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine? Like, you can't have a NASCAR season without the Daytona 500. You can't have a NASCAR season without Martinsville or Talladega.
You can't have an F1 season without Monaco. You can't have an IndyCar season without the Indianapolis 500. I mean, you just can't have. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's like keeping Eldora off of a dirt track schedule that it's on. It's like you've completely taken all the value, like the main course, off of that.
Speaking of
Eldora,
you know an event that I would love to see come back? It's the prelude to the dream when we used to get all the NASCAR drivers racing in dirt late models and get some good stars of dirt late models. I would love to see that come back and be played up to be a bigger deal than what it originally was. Like in a way, like, you know, obviously don't count that for cut points, but maybe make that like a second all-star race almost, where, you know, we're never going to see a cup car on Eldora. But shoot, get all these guys together and get some dirt late model teams to make some cars for them, wrap them up like their cup schemes, and get sponsors behind them, and get that race going back again. I think that like play that up better. Like originally they were doing that as like a pay-per-view program. I mean, shoot, get the people behind it, get that on TV.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That would be extremely cool to see. So we've gone over the tracks, and the last thing that we should talk about with the whole NASCAR for sale thing.
Really quick about the tracks. I got a holdover from last week, so I'm gonna screen share. I'm gonna do a shameless plug. I've made it. So buy it, damn it.
Yes, buy it.
There we go.
You all said you wanted it.
Buy it before I get copyright claimed.
Yeah, you probably more than likely will get copyright claimed for that.
You should probably just take out that logo and just put in the word Talladega, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I know.
Because Talladega is just a city in Alabama. It's not necessarily just a track, so you'll be fine if you just include Talladega.
And then I also have. I might as well plug the other ones really quick.
I'm thinking about making shirts, but
do it.
Yeah, I'll see. I'm thinking about it.
And then we got
buy those. Did you guys buy one of my shirts?
Yeah, I just gotta like get a time where, you know, with Mother's Day right now, I gotta sort of put the money towards that. So I also have this one really quick. Lick that like button.
And also, folks, if you haven't done it yet today, please make sure to lick the like button.
Oh yes, of course.
And then the classic, The Emotions of Paul Menard. See, the thing about Teespring is it's so small at this point that that you really don't have to worry as much about copyright when it comes to bigger leagues. Like the Vikings, I look at Viking stuff on there. There's Vikings logos everywhere, and people are just selling them like hotcakes. You know, it's like, and the NFL is a stickler with that shit. So I don't know. I'm just saying it's pretty. It's like the Wild West a little bit in there. They're trying to wrangle everybody up, but at this point, they're doing a pretty shitty job.
Oh, I see Eric's right in here. How's it going? I see he's in the comments.
Hey,
Yeah, hope you're having a good time, man.
How's the zoo?
how is it over the hills and far away?
He's not at the zoo. I just keep saying he's at the zoo.
All right, so now that we've gone over the whole tracks part of the thing, the last thing I want to talk about is possibly the TV deals and all that stuff. NASCAR finally doing revenue sharing. This is what the NFL does. Like, if you wonder why the NFL is so like why teams are able to have, you know, the same salary cap and they're more competitive and stuff like that, and even in smaller markets, it's because of revenue sharing, basically, pretty much. That pretty much evens out the playing field a bit more. The NBA and the MLB, they don't have revenue sharing. So out of the 30 NBA teams, probably only like maybe 9 or maybe 8 teams are actually competitive year in and year out. The rest really have to struggle in these smaller markets. And the same with the MLB. Like, for example, the what's their names? Oh, the Oakland A's. They really struggle. I mean, with you know, trying to bring in money and stuff like that. So they really have to. There was a movie done about them, Moneyball. Like, because
They
like
got a player that used to go to the same high school that I went to, Smolinski.
oh really? He went to your high school?
Yeah, Boylan. Actually, his two
Nice.
brothers. When I was a freshman, I was playing the same spot his two brothers were playing, and they were seniors. And I can tell you now that they can hit. It hurts. I had a bruise that looked just like my practice jersey for about 3 weeks.
Oh wow, yeah, I bet, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just had to plug that in there too.
And then so pretty much that's my whole deal. Like, basically revenue streaming with the teams will do this. Do you guys hate paid drivers? Like maybe Paul Menard, John West-Talley, those guys? I know I do. And pretty much revenue streaming will mean that if you give the teams a little bit more money, they won't have to need sponsorship as much for as many races. I mean, of course, they'll still need some sponsorship, but not necessarily a full-time sponsor. This means that they can really get back to finding competitive drivers again, drivers who are actually talented, instead of drivers who just bring sponsorship. So
yeah,
I think that's a good idea. So what do you guys think?
See, like, you know, some of those drivers you mentioned, like, I feel like Paul Menard is more likable compared to the others, and he definitely does have.
Know what? I will revise that. Yeah, I will take that back. Paul Menard, he's proven himself. He has a few wins in the Xfinity Series, 1 win in Cup. He's pretty decent. I mean, he runs consistent, but compared to guys like John West-Talley, you went out of the sport completely.
Yeah, you can't hate a guy that has no personality whatsoever. How can you hate someone like that? Get hard from Menard, says the Galloping Ghost Gaming.
But
yeah, but now all over get hard from Menard. I love that.
That's a new shirt.
Yes, every week we're just gonna make a new shirt till like you go on there. It's like an actual good shirt I make comes up, and it's like you have to scroll through 10 pages to find it.
Next thing we know, we're gonna see Jared's in some new house, and like, how'd you afford that shirt?
So yeah.
Oh, here's one. Do you like the Tag Nation says, do you like the idea of NASCAR returning to Japan if they have the right track?
Ooh, I'm not
as an exhibition race, maybe. Not as a point series race.
Yeah, definitely not as a point series race. But
how about out of country in general? Like
what about they used to race in Canada. You can always go back. Well, the Truck Series still race there. Yeah, they still race.
Dude, go back to Mexico at least if the Xfinity Series.
Oh yeah, that was actually that was a good road course. I like that.
And
Tristan Baker says I should make a shirt for the 12 Days of Dale Jr. What the hell is that?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Speaking of Dale Jr., his baby was born last week.
Oh yes, I was just about to mention that. Yes, Dale Earnhardt had his baby. When did he have
I forget the day. It might have been last Wednesday even. But and then Kyle Larson had another kid Monday. And I have already seen a bunch of pictures of Kyle Larson's kid. I have not seen one photo of Dale Jr.'s kid. What the heck? Is he hiding her? I have not seen one photo of this kid.
Does she have like 4 eyes or something? Like, damn.
I mean, I mean, I could maybe understand him not wanting to, I guess, show what his daughter looks like and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, but
some parents
this
are
is the world we live in today, though. This is social media life.
yeah, you have a good point. Yeah, you got a good point there. But man, Kyle Larson already has like 2 kids, and what is he, like 24, 25? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because all the other drivers that are like his age range are still living life, so to speak. Still kind of, they can party more during the week, or he's a family man already at a young age. It's kind of admirable, to be honest.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah, I respect that, dude. I couldn't have. I don't know.
Kind of like doesn't what the hell is his name? Chase Elliott. Doesn't he have a kid too?
No. Does he?
No.
No.
He ain't even married.
He didn't?
He's not even married, man.
Oh, I don't know. I don't follow these people's lives. Like, right? Like this. Honestly, I'm sitting here and this sounds like what different girls talking about like the housewives and shit. I might sound like an asshole, but it's like I really like, oh, cute kid. I don't really care.
Well, moving on from that point.
Yeah, pretty much moving on from that. So last week they raced at Dover. All 3 series raced at Dover. So for this one, we're going to talk about each race in order, starting with the with the Camping World Truck Series race. Oh yeah, and if you guys didn't hear, they recently changed their name to the what was it again? How do you say it?
Gander Outdoors Truck Series. The Gander Outdoors is what Gander Mountain used to be. The people who own Camping World bought it, and they rebranded it to Gander Outdoors.
See, in our like chat on Twitter, I think it's spelled wrong, and it put.
I put Gardner. I thought it said Gardner. I just like that at first. I'm like, yeah, the Gardner series. I'm like, okay, that's a cool.
I've been watching this show from the '90s called In Living Color. And they had this movie review, and it was like these 2 gay guys on it. And every time they talk about a movie with just women, they had the same reaction that I had about the Gardner series.
Oh yeah,
I hated it. Like I was like, Gardner, what the hell is this shit? I think I put in there. I'm like, I miss Craftsman, damn it.
Like I'm a big hunter and fisherman. And I was like, I've never heard of Gardner Outdoors.
Yeah, but. Yeah, dyslexia strikes again.
Yeah.
So pretty much the truck race. I gotta say, I enjoyed the truck race. There was a lot of highlights in there.
I was, like I said, Friday I was busy at the Lucas Oil Dirt Series race, but so I didn't get a chance to watch. I did go back and watch like the highlights of it, and all I can say is Noah Gragson. I gained a little bit of respect for him because of how he took responsibility for what happened, and that he completely owned up to that incident being his fault. He was trying to side draft on Sauter, which is, that's fair. That's racing right there. But he overcorrected himself, got into Sauter, tried to save it, got into it again, and ultimately spun himself out into the wall. But he knew that was his fault. And I've grown to gain a lot of respect for Noah Gragson. At first I thought maybe he was one of these more, we was talking about pay drivers in a way. I thought maybe at first he was starting to seem like one of those. No, I've actually gained a lot of respect for him this year.
And fun fact, he's actually from Las Vegas. He went to Gorman High School, Bishop Gorman, basically the rich kid school, pretty much. So there's that.
A young driver coming from a rich family?
Yeah, I know. What?
Who would have thunk?
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought that?
That's like some people are like, why don't you jump in racing? I'm like, because my dad isn't like Richard Childress.
I know, man. Dude, I wish I could just hop into a race car. And
if everyone could race, it would be part of a gym class. Like,
yeah.
You can't do it.
You need money. You got to have money in the sport, basically.
That's basically all I can add in, though, because I didn't watch a truck race. Actually, I only watched the last 10 laps of the Xfinity race, too. So I figured I got the best 10 laps of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
I can't remember what I was doing exactly on Saturday, but I didn't get to watch the finish of that one either. Maybe I slept in a lot and then just had some things to do Saturday. But no, I didn't watch that Xfinity race Saturday either. But the finish was really good for that. I will say that.
Yeah, the truck race though, it was pretty good. I mean, what's his name's kid? Chad Little's kid? What's his name? Jesse Little in the 97? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Jesse Little. He was pretty good. He was running in second at one point. He was doing all right.
Give me just a second. I'll be right back.
All right,
So it says that Allgaier's win was encumbered.
Oh yes, so yeah, that was a big news today. There was a lot of teams that over the weekend, I guess they got penalized. Beginning with Austin Dillon, he got penalized, and then
Kamikaze rejoices.
Too.
Kamikaze rejoices.
And then Kyle Larson got penalized, and he had to start in the back. And then today, Daniel Suarez got penalized. He lost 20 points. So basically,
Jesus Christ
doesn't count. Yeah, I know, man. And yeah, and then in the Xfinity Series, Justin Allgaier, his win was encumbered basically for. I think it was something to do with the windshield or the back window, something like that.
There's too many damn rules.
All right. Let me go ahead and give you my full review of the Dover race, and here it is right here.
Basically, that's basically what the whole the best race of the weekend was pretty much the Truck Series. I would agree with Kamikaze Games on that, but I don't know the Truck Series 10.
Don't tell me what to do, Swag Master. It's like Iceberg. Don't say you don't want Cup drivers in Xfinity races if you don't want to watch the full race. Well, I don't want to watch the full race because the full race sucks major ass.
It does.
Put on better fucking racing, and I'll watch the fucking race.
Exactly.
Boom.
Agreeing on that.
My phone.
I mean, Truck race was the best race of the weekend, and it wasn't even like. I mean, it was okay. I would have to give it maybe a 7 out of 10. I mean, that's pretty sad. Well, I mean. Well, the Xfinity race was all right. It had a pretty good finish, too. But the Cup race was just basically what I expected. Nothing happened. I mean,
I'm just gonna hang out in a blanket the rest of the night,
guys. That's how you should show up when we all go to Bristol next year. Just in a blanket. Well, why have a blanket? I have an ugly shirt underneath. What's the ugly shirt? Danica Patrick. Oh yeah, here's another blanket.
And not just any Danica Patrick from 2010.
Oh God.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Have you been able to hit walls recently? I'm a fucking pro.
That would be
hey. At least at that point she hadn't done that bad when I bought the shirt.
Yeah, she really didn't. I mean, she was okay. I mean, she wasn't great, but she was all right. But then right when she entered the Cup, it was pretty much downhill from there.
There was worse, and I certainly talked about one of them in my most recent list video on my channel. 5 NASCAR drivers that you forgot about. Go check it out sometime.
Oh yeah, go check out that video. That was pretty good.
But
that is a good one.
I did bring up Colin Braun, who was he came in same time as Ricky Stenhouse Jr., but he was the one who wasn't given a second chance.
I think. See, what I'm thinking about doing is a compilation video of every crash Danica Patrick has had in a stock car. But I was like,
that'll be over an hour long, dude.
Yeah,
I know, but I mean, I've seen other ones like Dale Jr. win videos that are over an hour, or Dale Senior ones. So
everyone on this channel, my subscribers, they want me to do a Danica Patrick bus video so bad, but I'm like, that is going to take a long ass time to talk about.
You should do it. You know what you should do? You should do like year by year. Like 2010 is part 1, 11 is part 2, and then you just sort of.
You know what? I did do a part series for the Michael Waltrip Bad Seasons video. I did 2006 and 2007, and then for the Alex Bowman one, I did 2004. I did 2014 to 2015 when he was racing for those crappy teams. So I didn't think about that. That's a good idea. It's gonna.
Have you done a Dylan Kwasniewski video? I think that would be a good one too.
You know what? I was thinking about doing that, but then I saw that Ryan Holman basically did a video like that, and I don't know. Like, I don't want to
rip that one off from. Who do you rip that one off from?
I don't know. He probably ripped it off from someone. It's like I basically I like to look the drivers up to see if there's been a bus video done on them. Like I was gonna do one on Andy Houston, but then NASCAR Nixon pretty much already did like his rookie season video basically. So I don't want to do that. And I wanted to do Aaron Crocker, but then basically Ryan Holman already did a video on that. Even though it's boring as hell, all he does is put in crashes and stuff pretty much.
I feel like if you rip off Ryan Holman, that you kind of get like a reverse effect where people are like, well, we don't like him anyway, so good job.
Well, maybe.
I don't know. Like when it comes to mind of YouTubers do NASCAR stuff that on a regular basis seem like they're the hated ones. I think of Ultimate Dragon 23 and Ryan Holman.
Oh, she's so bad, dude. Her channel, I never got into her stuff, man. I mean, she has that annoying voice, and she's been doing YouTube for 5 years, and she just now got over 1,000 subscribers. Like, that's pretty bad. I don't know.
I got 250 when I was literally uploading a video every 6 months.
Like,
I was like, oh shit, I probably should do something with this right now. Here's a concert I went to.
Me and DannyBTalks, we just started this whole YouTube thing December. That's the same time you started with me, right?
Yeah, I started, my first one was like December 27th or something like that.
Yeah, and pretty much I'm already at 2,000 now, which is all thanks to you guys. Thank you guys so much. And he's almost at 1,000 too. So
I literally started actually putting effort into like making stuff on a regular basis, or at least doing streams on a regular basis, about February. I mean, I'm already over 500. It's like,
if you can handle a little bit more offensive and adult humor, you can definitely go to Iceberg for that. I kind of keep it a little bit more PG, but
see, I'm thinking of a video. I don't know if I'll make it or not, but it's like, yeah, this will probably be like the edgelord of edgelordiness.
Yeah. So so we just got a message from Real Radman. What did it say? He said, I am currently playing some golf right now.
So he's golfing.
Yeah, so he's golfing right now. Maybe afterwards, maybe he might come in. Yeah, so I don't know.
You should put a question mark, because you can edit it during the stream. Put a question mark behind. Yeah, I can't remember how, because I haven't done it. I can't. I think you have to like go back in the creator studio or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
But it's like, just put a question mark and just be like, we're gonna hold the audience by the dicks for the rest of the stream with it.
All right. Oh no. Instead of that, I'll put and maybe Real Radman. Maybe Real Radman if he shows up. But I give him some props though, because golf, I don't know, it's a lot harder to play than it looks. I don't know, and it's pretty boring to me.
I mean,
Henry puts NASCAR busts Greg Ives.
Oh, I saw that. Someone put like, I guess like, because my fans, they basically like come up with a bunch of series to do, and someone said bad crew chiefs, good crew chiefs. Yeah, I might do that.
Lance McGrew has got to be one for you.
See, the only reason that Greg Ives had that awesome year with Dale Jr. in 2015, in my opinion, was because he had Steve Letart's notes. Basically. Once the cars changed to the point that those notes were irrelevant, you notice that that's when Junior's performance started to go down towards the end of 2015, start of 2016.
He is one of the most overrated crew chiefs I've ever seen. Like, yeah, I agree with you there. He basically used Steve Letart's old notes, and then once those notes were irrelevant, basically it was all up to him from now on to set up the cars and help him out. And since 2016, let's see, a big goose egg in the win column, and a best points finish of their best points finish was last season, because Junior was injured in 2016 was out with his concussion. So
bonus points wise, their best finish since 2015 was 17th in 2016.
I really think Greg Ives should have stayed with Chase Elliott throughout his career, to be honest with you. I think that was a better pairing.
I just think that, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he was, he had a lot of the Hendrick, when Hendrick was really good, had a lot of that behind him. A lot of, whether it be like, because he was the car chief for the championships Jimmy Johnson won.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but
but he had Chad Canals calling the shots.
Yeah, does that really count? You got Jimmy Johnson driving the car and Chad Canals is the crew chief. Yeah, you were the car chief, but he was calling. Did he really call the shots? No. Yeah, see,
Jocko Flacco could be the car chief for Jimmy Johnson and would have got a top 5 points finish. Mm-hmm. If anyone who doesn't know, Jocko Flacco was the monkey that Tim Flock had in the car with him in the 40s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like Quinn Boyer said, even a monkey could do that well.
Oh yeah, hold up. I actually have that in one of my history books, like the NASCAR history books. Hold on, let me get that really quick. I'll show you guys. Ugh.
Yeah. I remember because for the longest time, I'd see like in that book, like Jocko Flacco is on a winning team, and I didn't look to anything else. I'm like, wow, Jocko Flacco got 7 wins. I look it up. It's like, the fuck, it's a monkey. Like, it's a friggin' monkey.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
Which edition do you have?
All right. So the cover's ripped off. I have the NASCAR fast history. Do you have that?
I have like the big one that goes from like before NASCAR to about 2011 was the newest edition I got.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
got all the points and money and all that good stuff.
Here's his monkey. It's right here.
Yeah.
Yep. He used to drive with that thing. I don't know for how long he drove with it. Let's see. Okay. It says the stats right here. It says 8 starts, 1 win, 1 top 5, 6 top 10s, and a career winnings of $3 grand. That was a lot back then, back in in 1953. So that was pretty cool,
especially for a friggin' monkey.
Damn. So hold up. So think about this. This monkey has more NASCAR wins than Ty Dillon does. That's sad. And he has more top 5s. He has more top 10s.
It led more laps than Jimmy Johnson has this season.
My gosh, yeah.
Has he still not led a lap this year?
Nope. No laps led.
Big goose egg.
Man, it's been disappointing for him.
And
speaking of the Dillon brothers, I know DannyBTalks saw that tweet last night. So yesterday, Austin Dillon was at the Sports Emmys representing Fox, I guess, for their like Daytona Day commercial.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, and they ended up winning. And I guess on the ride home, he was looking through the Instagram comments, and he was actually replying to them, and he was basically like roasting. I guess he was trying to roast them.
I'm back.
Oh my God, we have 2.
Oh, whoa! What is going on here?
Double vision. Oh, okay.
Okay.
What was there 2 of me?
Yes, there was.
I cloned myself. Sorry.
Yes. Donald Trump has led just as many laps this year as Jimmy Johnson, says Nick Sant. Same with Justin Marks. That's gonna
that's where you're wrong. I've had such a huge laps. I've led so many laps, so many laps.
No laps.
See, I've had more wins this year than half the drivers out there.
Not there.
Half of them. Right.
Oh,
I won over North Korea. I swear to God.
I put Kim Jong-un in the wall.
The spray tan is real. It's real.
Oh, jeez.
I wish I was better at impressions.
Yeah, I know. I'm not really.
I'm the best ever. My impression, everyone says it's best ever.
So pretty much, like I just said, Austin Dillon was trying to roast these so-called fans the fans pretty much that were talking mess about him in the comments. I don't know, like I thought it was pretty funny, but it pretty much just shows how much skin the Dillon brothers have. They have they need to get thicker skin though, to be honest with you, because Ty Dillon was going after Kamikaze.
They're fucking pansies. They've been spoon-fed their whole life, and now when somebody talks bad about them because they suck in Cup, like if you look at the standard for a Cup driver compared to any others, they suck in Cup, and then they hate hearing about it. Meanwhile, I bet you if Dillon one of the Dillons had gotten into something with another driver and then been like, oh yeah, well he's just here because he sucks or whatever, and like they'd find it funny if the fans went after that guy.
Yeah,
like, these are the people, they can dish whatever the hell they want, but they can't do like anything when it comes back to them. They need Grandpa to go beat up Kyle Busch for them because they got hit after a race. But that wasn't Dillon, but that
was Joey Coulter. Yeah,
that's a sucky driver too.
Yeah,
but there's you one for a bust.
Oh yeah, Joey Coulter. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I completely forgot about him until you brought up the Kansas race. That's how forgettable.
Someone should send the link to this to one of the Dillons and be like, listen, if you want to actually like clear the air with this shit, go on here, because it's like at this point, like
Look, the fans.
I don't know. After everything you said, I think we've lost all hope of getting like Ty Dillon on here now. So
I mean, the fans. I mean, I would have to agree with them here. I mean, they're just spoiled rich kids. And
they are.
Look, I mean, here's the thing, though. I will defend Austin Dillon to this extent. Yes, he has been given his grandfather's money, but at least you can make a case that he's at least proved himself. I mean, a Truck Series championship, and yes, a Nationwide Series title. Even though he didn't win a single race that season, it's still a title. Now, I think he was moved up in the Cup Series too early. But Ty Dillon, I have no freaking clue why he's even in.
What incarnation says Richard Children's Racing?
Ty needs to get as far away from Germain as possible. I don't know how
he's running that team into the ground. He really is. Casey Mears.
Why has I know we talk. Everyone talks bad about Richard Childress opening up the 3-car for Austin. Why is he not given like the 33 or 27 to Ty yet?
Probably because he knows he's not that good. He probably doesn't have that much potential. At least with Austin Dillon, you won championships in the lower series.
Ty Dillon,
Ty Dillon did win a championship, didn't he?
And ARCA, come on now, he won a championship.
I thought he won a Truck Series championship.
No. He did not win a Truck Series title. Whoa, what happened to Iceberg?
It occasionally like logs you out. He's probably going to have to sign in and come back in.
Oh, okay. Oh, there he is. Well,
we lost him.
Yep, we lost him.
What are you doing?
Don't worry, he'll get back in. But no, Ty Dillon, the only championship to his name is an ARCA Series title that he won in 2011.
Okay.
And honestly, his only real competition.
There he went.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with his thing. But look, the only real competition he even had that year in the ARCA Series was from Chris Buescher. And even Chris Buescher wasn't racing for like some big Cup Series team that's fielding an ARCA car, like, a Roush Racing or anything like that. It was like some family-owned ARCA team. And he only won by like 100 points, So you can make it – I think you can make the case that, if he wasn't running in his equipment, then in his grandfather's equipment, then he would basically – and he's back. Thank goodness.
Thunderstorms, man.
Oh, man, I feel you.
Yeah.
You can make the case that if he wasn't running in his grandfather's equipment, then he would probably not win the championship, I don't think.
Yeah.
Rusty Walrus, Thanos deleted Iceberg. Not yet.
Yes. Wait, spoilers.
No, Geico does not go with him. Sorry, I'm just reading a comment. It says, here's a question. If Ty Dillon moves to RCR, does Geico go with him? No. I can guarantee no way.
Geico's been too loyal to that team. They were there in the days of Max Pappas. They're not going anywhere.
Max Pappas. I actually met him.
Let me explain this team to you guys, like the saga of this team. This team, Germain Racing, was in the Truck Series for a little bit. They basically started up a Cup Series team around 2009, I think. 2010.
They did great in trucks with Todd Bodine, but that's really about it.
Corvette Racing, John West Townley's better than Ty Dildo. Someone, if no one else does it, somebody send that nickname to friggin' Kamikaze. I want him to say that in the video.
I'll comment on his next upload.
Yeah, we'll all go and like spam like it.
So pretty much
that's great.
Yeah, so pretty much that team starts in 2010 with Max Pappas, and then it's basically a start and park. Then they move on to Casey Mears, and it takes Casey Mears right around maybe 2 to 3 seasons to get the team's first top 10. Then, all right, that's good. And then, you start seeing them improve, like around 2014, 2015-ish. They start running inside the top 20, the top 25 on a consistent basis. Like, wow, like this team's really improving. So,
I mean, they've always had a solid sponsor, Geico. Geico's a company that should be able to
I'm sorry. Even when Geico, even when Germain Racing was a start and park team, like they still did commercials with them. Like I remember a commercial way back in 2010. I'm like, Casey Mears has a commercial with Geico. Like I know he drives for him, but the team's a start and park.
Yep.
Yeah. So that shows how loyal they are to that team. And then the announcement
Twisted Tea. So.
Yeah, but they've always been with Ty Dillon, haven't they?
No, Twisted Tea was with Sam Hornish Jr.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Marcos Ambrose,
Brian Scott.
Yeah, that's right. And then lastly, then the announcement takes place in 2016, right before the end of the season, that Casey Mears is going to be kicked out for basically no apparent reason. And Ty Dillon gets in, even though he hasn't done anything. He didn't do anything in the Xfinity series. I mean, only like one win at Indianapolis. And other than that, that's pretty much it. And then you can start to see that team go downhill. So
Ty honestly hasn't really ran for any good team in Cup, to be honest with you. Like, he did like maybe one race with Richard Childress in like an extension car, I think. I think it was like a Daytona race. And then he did some races with Levine Family Racing and then Germain Racing. He really hasn't done anything.
I think Austin Dillon, when he was starting to come up in the Cup, which like you were saying, and I think he was put up way too quick. I think I was at one of his first starts.
When was that?
2012, the 2012 June Michigan race.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Austin Dillon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
who did he run for?
Richard Childress, the 33.
It was like a few races.
Oh yeah.
I actually, because that's my favorite race ever. I have the results with the car numbers on my wall, like all the way down, so I can tell you the complete finishing order of that race when Junior won. So, because being a big Junior fan,
and then I think in 2013 he got to run for Stewart a little bit when he got hurt. So
yeah, and
the biggest highlight was that he flipped.
That's how bad Ty Dillon is. He couldn't even get a top 10 in Stewart's ride.
No, that's Austin.
No. Or Austin. I thought Ty Dillon ran a few races.
Ty Dillon did run a few in 2016.
Yeah, but
because I know at Bristol they made a big deal out of Austin versus Ty for like some kind of bass boat thing because they were both in Bass Pro Shops car at that one.
Yeah, I mean,
I forget why Tony wasn't racing in 2016 though for a little bit. What did he do? Oh, he got hurt. He got hurt in a 4-wheeler crash. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it wasn't 20. Wait, was it?
It was 2016.
That was 2016. Yeah, that was right. I remember that. Oh yeah, damn, I forgot about that. Yeah, he missed quite a few races.
It sucks.
A kid from Georgia asked, "How about Kenseth being in the 6th until Sonoma? He's gonna be in the 6th that long?"
Like Trevor Bayne, when they announced it, only had like 10 more races on his contract for this year.
Get rid of all his races.
Well, I mean, there goes his career pretty much. I mean, it's not really that much of a surprise.
Well, and then we were talking with the whole MS thing. If that ever sprouts back up, like this,
I'll be right back.
Oh, wait, hold up. Let's see. Someone said Ty Dillon got a top 10 in the Talladega crapshoot, but it was credited as Tony's because Tony drove the first 55 laps. Well,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did, but I mean, it's not official. So okay, he got one top 5, or no, one top 10, in 67 starts, and that was at Talladega. I mean, he couldn't even get a top 10 at the restrictor plate tracks yet this year. Like, come on now. Yes, I know it was.
He's hot trash.
Yeah, man. It's just sad.
One Carnation goes, "Do I watch this or iRacing?" What the hell kind of question is that? You watch us.
Yeah, you watch us, man.
Get your shit together, man. I see that you changed. I see you changed your profile pic. I can't see what it is, but I assume it's pretty good.
Yes, yes, I know it was you that said that. The Atomic B. I'm just gonna call you the Atomic B68. Yes, I know it was you.
Yeah, we just call him AB68.
Or I just call him AB68. Okay.
Yeah, that's easy.
Oh, good. He's in here. What incarnation's here? Okay, sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, he was the one who was debating.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I just see you. What's up? I subscribed to his channel. I subscribed to his channel yesterday. If you don't know who he is,
Sam Pizza, Darren Sam Pizza says you are sexy.
Who's sexy?
Oh, he says it's Lightning McQueen with a gun. Okay, I'll go.
Black Lives Matter is sexy. Oh, thank you very much. I don't know if you're a guy or female or I don't know, but
Tag Nation put to imagine if Jake Paul announced tomorrow that he was going to run part-time schedule driving the pink team 10 today for some small team.
He said no homo. I feel you, man. I feel you on that, bro.
Let's see. Black Flags Matter. AB68 says, "Remember, I was the very first viewer of the stream."
Yes.
Right.
He actually was. He's been with us from the beginning. So AB68, we really appreciate that.
Yeah. There's a few people in here that have been with my channel from the start too that I can.
I realized that AB68, we might have to get back to you sometime, maybe when we host it on my channel again. But we owe him a chance to get on here and talk a little bit with us. Like, he was one of those, I think, got kicked when we tried to get some people onto the stream that one time, and we mostly just I started kicking people just because it was getting too loud. So I really need to get in touch with AB68 sometime about possibly coming on to experience it one time.
Yeah, I need to get on. We need to get What Incarnation on here too.
What Incarnation? I don't even know if he's like got the capabilities. I haven't seen any videos from him or anything.
He has videos. I subscribe to his channel. He has videos.
Oh, he has videos?
Yeah, go on his channel. Go subscribe to it. Yeah, me and Rusty Walrus subscribed to his channel yesterday.
I could have swore when I looked at it one time it didn't have anything.
AB68 gotta ask, is your email in your channel description? Because if so, I'll just send you something really quick. Just say yes or no. Is it if it's in your channel description?
In my channel description?
No, AB68.
Okay, my bad.
I had to get you. I think it was like on your discussion tab.
Yeah. Yeah. You
sent I left one on Natalie Decker's too.
Yeah, you sent me it, and I didn't read it until like 3 weeks later. I was like, oh crap, man, I could have been on the show sooner. I was like, yeah, man, of course I'd love to do this show with you guys.
I left one on Natalie Decker's, but I mean, it's like I've sent a few emails and then stuff about an interview.
Yeah, Natalie Decker, she hasn't replied to me either. Okay, really quick. The Swag Master 40. He's been asking this question the whole stream. Darian,
really quick.
Can you do a bad seasons video on Denny Hamlin? You probably will see it. Like, look, I'm open to suggestions and stuff, but I mean, it's basically what I want to put on there. So you might see it tomorrow, or you might see it in 2 years. Who knows? But we'll see.
I really kind of miss what was happening. I was checking out What Incarnation's channel here. He actually put up a video for one of our streams that says being shouted out by the YouTube NASCAR gods, and now I'm wondering if there's going to be another one.
Yeah, probably. He'll probably make another one. Don't worry, What Incarnation. We'll have you on here soon. I'd say maybe next week. Maybe. If he's open, if he's free.
It's possible.
So, because what's his name isn't here to do it, Real Rapman, so make him up. We'll probably have maybe 2 special guests on next week, since we didn't really have anyone on this week.
Yep, and we'll hopefully Eric will be done playing at Disney.
Yeah, no, he probably will. Oh yeah, and as far as my channel goes for live streams, when I'm doing when I'm all the way in Virginia, they'll still happen. So I'll still do the live streams with you guys. Hopefully my auntie has internet. I would assume.
I mean, if for any reason that one of us can't, and there's been times when it's been where we couldn't make it, like on Wednesday, everyone all had something going on. Where we can always try and do this like another day if we have to, but I guess we try to do this like on Wednesdays for the most part.
AB68 put on there that he preferred next week. I think we're gonna have to do it where like we clear it a week or 2 more in advance, just because we want to be sure. And if we already have a plan of what's going on, we got to be sure about all this stuff going forward. So
yeah. And I mean, no offense when I say this, if we bring on some other guests, and if it's someone who we don't see much content from, we would love to like have a private Google Hangout just to kind of talk with you, kind of get to know you more a little bit.
Yeah. We can't just have anyone on here. I'm sure you guys would
like.
Y'all remember the shit stream?
Yeah, I don't say that to be mean or anything. Yeah. It's just it's more like a formal interview, and like in the case of like Darren here, Black Flags Matter, we brought him on mostly because his channel and the content he puts out kind of serves as that interview to kind of judge kind of about how a person really is. So.
Mm-hmm. You know who we should invite on here? He's a big, well, I wouldn't call him a NASCAR YouTuber. We should invite We're Gonna Lose on here. That would be some sick stuff.
We're Gonna Lose?
You never heard of his channel? He's a troller.
No, I haven't.
Dude, yeah. He's the funniest NASCAR troller out there.
Oh, he's the one that does that shit on the on like the online races, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's trolled iRacing. He's trolled NASCAR Inside Line 2014, 2015, and the NASCAR Heat.
Maybe I have seen him before.
He's the one.
I'm not a big fan of trolling for the simple part that I want to enjoy the game.
Man, I know, but his videos, oh my gosh, they're just so hilarious. Like, I know some NASCAR fans hate his guts though. They just hate his guts. Because he has in one of his videos, or I mean one of his trolling bits, he has Earnhardt died LOL, which is very, I guess probably very offensive, but at the same time, I don't know, it's just I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with this channel. Like, yeah, that's very disrespectful, but at the same time, it's his other videos and stuff, they're just so funny. I don't know, just the way he trolls, man, it's just so funny to me.
Well, boys in chat, I want to bring something up to you guys and tell me what you think. And next, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, I have two choices. Do I, one, watch the All-Star race here at home, or do I, two, go to Bristol and watch the Short Track Nationals? Because, I mean, if it was like, if they kept it the same as last year, I would definitely go to Bristol. Now I'm kind of tempted, like, should I, like, I know Short Track Nationals is a 2-day thing, but I don't know. There's always a chance that the weather might not be good one day and maybe just go one day. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Go Bristol. Unless they prove otherwise. I mean, there's no point in I mean,
you know what? The All-Star race, I mean, it's going to have the new package. So,
yeah, but I mean, until they prove otherwise, I would stick with the fact that Bristol. Like, how soon before the races would you have to know? That's what I got to ask, really.
I mean, I went to it last year, and it looked like you literally didn't have to buy tickets in advance. You could just show up and buy a ticket, honestly. It wasn't that many people there. But it's looking like there's a few people saying All-Star race, but it looks like there's more people saying Bristol for the most part.
If it were me, I'd wait for the first few practice sessions, see what there is, and then from there sort of make up your mind.
Yeah. True. I guess I can watch some practice Friday and kind of get an idea if it's something I'm going to be interested in staying at home watching on TV or just driving up to Bristol and watching that.
Oh, yeah, guys.
I'm sending an AB68 email really quick, so if I'm looking down the whole time, that's why.
Okay. So I almost forgot. Oh, yeah, we have a race this weekend. Yep, we got a race this weekend. Yep, Saturday night at Kansas Motor Speedway. So basically, Kansas Motor Speedway is pretty much like similar to Las Vegas. That would be a fair assumption, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who won Kansas last year? I know really when I think of Kansas last year, Martin Truex Jr. won it. Because when I think of it, I just really remember more the Eric Almirola crash. That's more or less the only thing I really remember. Yeah,
pretty much that's like probably the only thing I remember as well. And also, Eric Almirola, he could have won a race there in 2012. NASCAR Nixon made a video about it.
I completely forgot about that, to be honest with you. I forgot about how good of a car he really had there.
But he wrecked. He spun out twice. I was like, damn, I totally forgot about that.
And like he wrecked once and he got back up into the lead. I mean, he had the car to beat. It's just bad luck played its hand for him.
Yeah, pretty much. So what we usually do is we make our picks and then we do the what order is it in? Yeah, I never hosted this, so it's kind of like we do our picks first and then
we pick a race winner and
then an underdog, right?
Yeah. Okay. Dark horse and underdog are different, so.
Oh, okay. Okay, so my pick for this weekend, he has an average finish, and over the past 3 races at Kansas, he has an average finish of about 5.6. He finished runner-up in the first Kansas race last year, in the spring one. Ryan Blaney is going to get his first official win for Penske Racing.
Fair enough, but I'm going to go with another Ford. Not a Penske one. I'm honestly going to go with who we saw win last week, and he's won 4 races this year. A couple of them on fairly similar tracks to Kansas. I'm thinking that Kevin Harvick is going to get win number 5 and another one in a row for him.
I said it a few weeks ago because he's surprisingly really good at Kansas. And I know I'm going off on a limb, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'll stay in the Ford camp. I'll go with Paul Menard.
So we're pretty confident Ford is going to win this weekend.
You say Paul Menard, man?
Dude, he's actually really good at Kansas.
I know.
And he's in the car Blaney did well with last year.
Yeah. You know, you have a good
point.
So
he's got, I mean, because he was the best RCR driver years there.
I love how that is now the common argument for Paul Menard. Yeah, but Blaney last year.
Get hard for Menard.
Oh my God. I think the NASCAR world would go a little crazy if Paul Menard won that race. Well, actually, no, they would probably go insane if Harvick or Kyle Busch won another race. But
if Paul Menard wins, then I bet you my T-shirt sales will go up through the roof.
Oh, so they would go up from 2 sales to 3.
No, from 0 to 1. Buy it, damn it.
Oh man.
So a dark horse for this one, and
yes,
and
that's not what Ford stands for. Timmy Hill fan said, "You know what Ford stands for? Fix it again, Tony." No, it stands for fucking old rebuilt Dodge.
I never heard that one before.
No. I mean, in the case of this season, first on race day, definitely.
Ooh, that's a good one. Anyway, I'm sorry. Bubba wins. Yeah, I don't think so. Tag Nation. I want him to.
Maybe the truck race. He might win the truck race, but
yeah, he might win the truck race. A dark horse for this track is really, that's kind of a hard one. And now dark horse is different from underdog. Underdog is someone who you just want someone to see get a good finish. Like dark horse is one who would be a sleeper to do something. And I'm gonna say Eric Jones as far as a dark horse goes.
You took mine. I'll go with Daniel Suarez.
I'm sure Eric Jones wants to do better than the last time he was at Kansas. The last time he was at Kansas, he about flipped his car. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
So I guess for a dark horse one, I got to pick the obvious here. You know, Matt Kenseth is going to have a pretty good run. He's going to give that top 10.
I'd take him as the underdog. I'll take him as the underdog just because that team sucks ass this year.
Yeah.
Oh, they're horrible.
I'm going to be the same as Jared here and go with Matt Kenseth as an underdog just because it's his first time in months getting into a race car where all these other guys, you know, they've kind of gotten the swing of it. It's his first time in months, like getting out of the sense that he's retired, he's back in it. So just kind of want to see how he does, and I'm hoping that he can maybe, if not finish there, at least get up in the top 10 one time.
Well, you know, he's not going to – I mean, we all know he's not going to wreck the damn car like Trevor Bayne does every week.
And so if it is wrecked, it won't be on purpose. It'll be like last year where it's
well, I mean, does Trevor really try to wreck a car?
Huh. Got a point there. So, what's your underdog, man? Who's your underdog?
I said same as Matt Kenseth.
Oh, no, I was talking to Iceberg.
Yeah, I'd said Matt Kenseth.
Oh, you both said Matt Kenseth. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my underdog is this guy. I was actually surprised looking at the stats on Racing Reference, and he's actually 8th in the last 3 races at Kansas. Average finish is around 11.6, something like that, if I remember. Yeah, he did pretty good last week. He finished 17th. He finished ahead of Eric Jones, which was pretty sad in his equipment. You know, Casey Kane, got to pick him as an underdog this week.
Yeah, I saw his tweet about it, and I was like, you know, it's so sad that he's at the point of his career now where he's celebrating a 17th place finish.
Like, yeah.
You know what's even more sadder is that Eric Jones finished behind him in 18th. That's probably the saddest part.
That's funny.
I still say that Casey Kane would do better if he would focus more on his like dirt series team, a sprint car team.
Money is not there compared to NASCAR. They don't tell you how much they make, but it's still a ton.
Well, it might be if he can go down there and just start dominating. I mean, look at somebody like Scott Bloomquist. He stayed in dirt practically his whole career, all because he's just that good.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that's the better way to go if you want to have a successful racing career in general. I mean, just stay in the lower ranks and pretty much just dominate. keep earning.
I mean, that's kind of how Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, and Todd Bodine did it, and Ron Hornaday. So
that's also how what's his name did it too, Ralph Earnhardt. He could have gone Cup Series.
Frank Kimmel was another one. He kind of just stayed in ARCA his whole career.
So I thought about that. So since ARCA is now basically with NASCAR, wouldn't that make Frank Kimmel the greatest driver of all time now?
I know where you're getting at, but that's a completely different level of competition, and it wouldn't equate to it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just playing. I saw those comments in Racing Reference, and people were like really serious. They're like, well, so since ARCA's bought up now by NASCAR, so that technically makes Frank Kimmel the greatest NASCAR driver ever.
Well, that's like gonna equate this to my favorite fake sport, WWE. That's like them acknowledging WCW records as the same thing when it was really not.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna because some people were asking if they're gonna
Women Crush Wednesday. Women Crush Wednesday.
Yes, that. No, WCW, Ted Turner's World Championship Wrestling.
I was for a second. But yeah, someone was like, aren't they gonna inherit the stats from ARCA and stuff? And I'm like, I don't think so. They might just keep that a totally separate thing, maybe. Just start clean. Since it's in NASCAR now. I don't know yet, but
yeah, there's so much in the air right now. It's not like 10 years ago where you pretty much know what the next 10 years are going to be. It's like everything's just a moving piece right now.
Yeah, right now we're in a pretty I don't know. It's not a good situation.
The dark ages of the modern NASCAR.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably maybe in 10 years we'll probably look back on this time in NASCAR and just laugh because it might get all of its fans back. It might be on top again. But then there's also that other side, it might not exist anymore.
When I was at the big dirt track series race this weekend, I was talking with this lady who's more of a fan of dirt track racing, and we were talking about this kid. He was 13 years old, and he qualified for the main feature of the Lucas Oil Dirt Series race at Tazewell Speedway. Pretty impressive. 13 years old, racing his way into the A feature, and I was saying, that's a kid. If he plays his cards right, he keeps doing this. He could end up in NASCAR one day doing this at the right age. And she looked at me and said, if there is a NASCAR, in a way, I was like, there'll still be a NASCAR. And I started thinking, will there be a NASCAR? I mean, that's something that, you legitimately have to ask,
That's what IndyCar fans were asking for a while.
Honestly, there's going to be a point when NASCAR does go out of business at one point. That's the sad reality of every business.
Yeah, but the Iceberg just made up a good point. I mean, when the whole IndyCar split happened between CART and then IndyCar wanted to do its own thing, I mean, that was the same question too, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah.
I remember even the last couple of years. I mean, the last 2 years it stabilized.
I want to see NASCAR at least make it 100 years, honestly.
That would be an accomplishment.
Well, let's see. Where are they at right now? Because they started in 48.
They'll be at 70 next year.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. But here's
keep Bill Nye the fuck away from it.
They will need to go to 2049 to get to 100 years.
I don't think. Look, it's going to take a lot more than this current situation to just have NASCAR completely shut down entirely. They're going to have to go way off the course just to have it completely shut down.
I think the big thing about it is that it's been falling so rapidly in such a short amount of time compared to how it steadily grew.
Yeah,
so this is something they have no preparation for whatsoever. And
sorry,
it's their own making.
I was wrong. They're actually in 70 years right now. They have to make it 2048, but still, same difference.
Yeah. I mean, NASCAR, even with the falling ratings, like I said in the beginning of the stream, it's still the #1 sport in America. It still beats out IndyCar's, in total audience, I guess you could say. Pretty much every form of motorsports has their ratings have gone up. I know Rallycross has gone up, I think, and then IndyCar has definitely gone up. Supercross, their ratings have gone up, and F1's ratings have gone up, I think. Maybe just by a little bit in North America too. So
I know they had been falling for a while, and it was like they'd lost 100 million fans worldwide or something, and it was huge.
in a way, it's up to our generation to keep NASCAR alive. We've got to make sure that there is an understood need for this sport. We've got to make sure that there is a demand for the sport, that we want to see it for years to come. And ultimately, that's what it's going to come down to, is us making sure that we're watching. We want to see, we need to, us as millennials, we need to keep watching if we care about the sport, even if it's doing things that we don't like. We need to keep watching. And
eventually it'll get better.
At the tail end
and we need to be more critical with it, but we do need to keep watching. If we're not watching, because all they pay attention to is those ratings, but if we can still watch but be more critical, like we kind of do in this live stream kind of thing, that's what's going to really save it. We need to keep watching, though. That's the biggest argument I keep saying.
I think millennials, that they're pretty much, they're gone. We're not getting them, but it's like this new generation, Gen Z, coming up. They're basically everyone from 96 to like now basically born. Like that's the generation that NASCAR needs to go after. Millennials are a lost cause. Like I'm at the pretty much the oldest of Gen Z, and it's like this generation is much different than millennials. They're, granted, they have a lot of the same problem as millennials, especially like teenagers when it comes to them complaining about stuff. But that's every teenager. But But
gosh,
they're much different.
Millennials want things so fast anyways. You think this would be a perfect thing for them. But
I saw this thing that was saying about how Gen Z, when it comes to like in the future, is predicted to be like one of the most like entrepreneurial and like sort of almost blue collar kind of generation, because it's sort of what the job market will entail for them. That's a perfect appeal for NASCAR. NASCAR needs to go after that kind of generation.
Yeah. And I wanted to also point out that this whole new ownership group thing, this is a great opportunity for like not just the sport in general, but for like NASCAR YouTubers like us. Because let's just say somehow, some way they get, these fans back with some of the right decisions that I hope they'll make. I mean, the more fans that are watching,
the more they're looking for other stuff.
They're going to be looking their our stuff up on YouTube, and they're gonna the more subscribers we're gonna have too. So I'm also hoping for that.
Honestly, next owners of NASCAR, shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to help you try to figure out a way to better market to people my age.
I think, I personally think that if they're gonna redo the sport, if they're gonna try and rebrand it, they should really try and reach out to us, like the NASCAR YouTubers who constantly put out good content and who make videos on a weekly basis to help run their channel too. Because I don't like the way the channel's being ran right now. I don't think it's any good.
It's just too cheesy. I don't like it.
It's just too cheesy. And there's like, I don't see anyone from like our age group on the channel either. Like you can't connect with kids, like, I don't know, with like our generation. Pretty much, if you don't have like, I guess, someone who's like right around our age and stuff, and it just seems so fake. Like everything about NASCAR,
it's pandering.
When you let, no offense, when you let older people try to run your marketing and videos and social media, you end up with stuff like the crew chief of Bel Air. And we were talking earlier about how cringy that is.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Well, that's the thing. They think that pandering and doing all this stuff is going to work. It's like, well, let's see. Let's look back. They had some funny gags like back in the early 2000s, but it wasn't like something you took away from it, or it wasn't like now they're doing a little Larry Mack where he's like put to the size of like a freaking doll and put on the track and superimposed and shit. It's like they didn't have that back then, and it really the really shitty gimmicks started with Digger. Like when they started losing stuff, they're like, we'll just throw this at the wall and hope it sticks. And a few kids like it, but I mean,
they had that cartoon. They had like an animation before the races too. Like
I remember.
They started that with the Daytona 500 in 2010, and I was like, no one asked for this. We don't want it.
Like, no one asked for that.
The Digger cartoon wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen, though. I mean,
no, I think I dropped 3 or 4 IQ points every time it came on the screen.
I still can't believe they did that whole crew chief of Bel Air thing. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to do that crap.
That's so bad. Like, I would have needed a really good payday for that.
Like,
I you know what?
Who has dirt on him?
I mean, the internet would probably crucify me for doing some kind of cringy crap like that. I don't think you could pay me enough for that, man.
I said it myself. Larry McReynolds deserves so much better than that. That is the man who won. He was Dale Earnhardt's crew chief when he won the 500, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 1998.
He deserves he deserves so much better than that. Like, I mean, okay, Jeff Gordon is better in the long run, but I mean, this is a man who lost his primary like what's the word, commentary position. And I mean, you used to Larry McReynolds was man, he was employed by 2 companies doing commentary back in the days of Fox and TNT. He went over to TNT and worked with them. I mean, he's gone so far downhill in the past few years, and it's really sad.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I think that at this point the days are numbered for guys like Mike Joy too. I think Fox doesn't care about NASCAR is the problem. They don't. They put less money into it for more races.
What's weird is they should, when you consider
it's FS1's biggest draw.
Yeah. When you consider Fox News and how much criticism is given to them for the I guess you could say the way that they lean and the viewership of it, you'd think it'd be perfect for them to focus great on the sport of NASCAR. But it seems like they're lacking there now.
Well, they're about to get bought up by Disney anyway, so Disney's making a monopoly. And
yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments right now. One guy said, one of them said, I really wish Fox would go back to the old graphics package from 2001 to 2003.
And then one of them had said really quick that trying to correct me on the whole Gen Z thing. And I looked it up, and granted it's Wikipedia, but it says on here, Generation Z or Gen Z, known as blah, 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 is the one after millennials. There's no precise date that it starts or ends, but most demographics just look at the mid-90s to mid-2000s as starting birth year. So yeah, so I think we're actually all Gen Z. I hate millennials, so I'm looking at any way possible not to be associated with them.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Millennials suck.
Wow, someone actually put the ages of wow, I didn't know Mike Joy was 68 years old. I didn't know
Larry McReynolds is only 59. What the hell?
Wow. I didn't know they were that. Oh, I mean, I didn't know.
Get him on there, damn it. We need a youth movement.
I know everyone keeps putting Alan Bestwick. That's what I keep saying.
I would love to see Bestwick come back.
Yes, I would too.
Honestly, there's a lot of them from ESPN. I really miss Andy Petrie.
Yes, yeah, I miss it.
I like how they had him as like the guy that they usually have on NFL that does like the rules analysis, because he like added something to it, and then they just got rid of him. He was like a good version of Tim Brewer.
And then, oh gosh, I cannot remember his name. He's a doctor, Dr. Jerry Punch. I miss him too.
Yeah, he wasn't good in the booth, but he was definitely really good on pit road. And when I met him, he was such a good guy to me.
Yeah, there's certain guys who are better as I mean, they're meant to be pit road reporters. And then some guys are meant to be in the booth. Jerry Punch is meant to be a pit road reporter.
Marty Smith or Marty Reed? What was his last name? Marty Reed, I think, was a missed opportunity to turn into a really good commentator.
Marty Smith. Yeah. Marty Reed was an awful one. And that's another one that Ultimate Dragon.
That was an awful one.
Ultimate Dragon defended Marty Reed.
Oh, yeah,
that dude did. Like that. It's like, oh, he has a flat tire or something. It's like he fucking blew an engine. What the hell are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm thinking of Marty Smith. He was really good in his role, and honestly, he could have done really good in as far as like commentary. And honestly, I want to bring this up too. We were talking about how we didn't really care much for NASCAR Race Hub and the way it's went. I miss ESPN's NASCAR Now. I thought that was a really good production that they did.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Well, about 2010, 2011, when the ratings weren't going – well, before 2011, because the ratings weren't going up, they basically just gave up on all their NASCAR stuff, which really sucked because, like, from about 2011 on, ESPN was like has been my favorite NASCAR coverage. It's like they sucked the first few years, but those last like 4 or 5, they were really good coverage.
And I mean,
When
I
you
mean,
put
they had
Iceberg in the booth, that's what happens.
they had exclusive rights to the nationwide series. I mean, other than
nothing with it.
there was a few years, I think, when they didn't broadcast all of the Busch Series races, because I'm pretty sure that Paul Menard's first Busch Series race that he won at Milwaukee wasn't even on TV. There's no TV coverage.
I was in 2006.
Yeah, no, it's on.
Yeah.
It was on FX.
They didn't get it.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't get it. The full season rights until 2007.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before it was basically what the Cup Series had.
Because I've been trying to find footage of Paul Menard's first Busch Series race, and I could the only thing I ever found was like someone in the stands had footage. That was it.
Oh, funny enough, you guys.
Yeah, I think there's a. Yeah, let me look it up for you.
You guys know.
Maybe it's come out since the last time I looked for it, but
when was the last time you looked for it?
It's been a while.
Oh. Yeah, the 2006 AT&T 250. Yeah, the full race is on here.
Okay, well I'll go watch it sometime.
Yeah.
So you guys remember Nicole Briscoe from ESPN?
Yeah.
She also went to the same high school as my aunt and uncle, the rival school of us, Hononegah. Yeah.
Talking about
a ton of NASCAR stuff from here.
Talking about some of the great women reporters and stuff. I miss Wendy Venturini. Don't really see much from her anymore.
She's on
PRN, yeah.
PRN.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, okay. I'll let y'all take over. I got to take a phone call real fast.
Oh, okay. I guess another female reporter. What was that lady's name on Fox that Fox used to have in the early 2000s? What was her name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The blonde one, right?
Yeah, she was on there for a while.
Was it the one before? Was it Chris Devoda or the one before?
No. It was the one.
Jeannie Salasco.
Yeah,
that's who it was. Jeannie Salasco.
Yeah, whatever happened to her? Yeah, I mean, she was. I thought she was.
She fell off after like a year or two. She just, I think, stopped doing stuff, and then she just did basically lower level stuff for other sports.
I know she did baseball. I think she
did. I know, like ESPN for a while, they tried. It's like, we're just gonna get as many hot women on pit road and see if people will watch then, because they had like, what's her name in the booth? They had Nicole Briscoe in the booth, and then they had like Shannon Spake and Jamie Little, and it's like, yeah, we're just gonna try and get as many models out there as possible.
Jamie Little went to UNLV, the college out here. I think she went to UNLV. And I think she's from Vegas too.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Nicole Briscoe, before she went to ESPN NASCAR stuff, she actually did the local news here.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, and then like I live basically in the same town as Chad Knaus grew up in. I think my dad went to the same high school as him.
Yeah, someone commented, Dick Berggren. Yes, he was great.
That time where they did like the tribute to him before the race, and then all the guys stood up, and it's like he was like near tears. I was like, oh, that hit me right here.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
and I think they cut it out of the movie, but he had a few funny deleted scenes when they did Talladega Nights too.
I piss excellence. Oh, Tyler Johnson says Monster Girls as pit reporters. I would be down with that. I'll be the cameraman.
Oh yeah, I forgot to this question was asked by in the comments by kid from Georgia. It was if I can find it, what was it? Oh yeah, he asked what Monster Girl, what drivers do you think have tapped the Monster Girls yet? Like which one? That's an interesting question.
I mean, obviously none of the married ones.
Yeah, probably not. Well, which ones aren't married?
I'm betting at least one of the married ones.
Yeah, maybe.
I remember something very controversial that come out last year after the Darlington race, and Cody Ware and Matt DiBenedetto got into a fight, and Cody Ware.
I remember that.
Cody Ware tweeted about Matt DiBenedetto and said, "At least I don't cheat on my wife." And
when was that?
After Darlington. And then it became so much controversy out there that Matt DiBenedetto was cheating on his wife on tour in NASCAR.
Was that ever proven? Was that ever true? Or
not really, but I'm sure it made things very awkward in the DeBurrito household.
Yeah, I could see Blaney. I could see Blaney doing that. They're saying on here, Blaney's the one that comes up. Elliott is one that comes up.
Dude, Blaney, I don't know. I mean, Blaney's like 5'7", 140 pounds. I think some of those monster girls are taller than him.
Smitty Rules says, I'm pretty sure that a crew member is married to a monster girl. Lucky him.
Yeah.
And then, so wait, what? Yeah, it's like Blaney's like 5'7". It's like the perfect height for motorboating.
Yeah, and someone said, kid from Georgia said, Blaney is too awkward. And he's never had a girlfriend in his life, actually.
He's got money. He's got money.
Hey, that's all it's about, man. As long as you got money, bro.
Okay, I want to say something. I'm not going to say who it is, but I have one NASCAR driver on my Snapchat who I Snapchat with every now and again. One day, I'm not going to say who it was, but he accidentally sent me a Snapchat that was meant for a girl. And
you got a dick pic.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that.
Oh,
no, it was just him. But it was they was making a face like this, and the caption literally said, "Can't wait to have you bent over in a few weeks." And then immediately he sends me a chat. He sends me a chat. And he's like, "Do not open. Do not open. Do not open." I screenshotted that. I will not ever share that, but it's for me to enjoy, and I will never say who it was, but that is for me only.
Man, you know what? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. Who would do that?
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I will never say who it was.
Oh, it was Greg Golding, wasn't it? Yeah, it was him.
Yeah,
it was Greg Golding.
No, I'll never say who it was. I mean, I've got a couple of NASCAR drivers on my Snapchat, but I'm not going to say who they are either. But I've got a couple of them on there, so I'm not going to say who it is.
I didn't even know that they really interacted with their fans like that.
Well, there's a couple of them that they had their Snapchats, but there's a couple of them I added before they really got really big on Snapchat. Kind of kept me.
So I'm not. I know you're not going to say his name or anything. Okay.
I may tell just these two when we're done, and that's it.
I'm going to just take a little guess. Is he like a mid-pack driver?
I'm not going to say anything on the stream.
Okay. Yeah, Cole Custer. Someone said Cole Custer. Yeah.
He looks like a troll.
I know, right?
I feel bad he's younger than me though, but I saw him the first time. I'm like, oh my god, it's a troll going through puberty.
Dude, the whole problem was of how it happened is that my name just happened to be like right beside of whatever girl this was, and it accidentally went to me.
Okay, we need to find out what the monster girls' names are. So yeah. I'm gonna be like a CSI reporter with this shit.
Someone Tag Nation said this chat is becoming cancer.
Oh, becoming. It already has been.
It was like that weeks ago, buddy.
Yeah, dude, it's been cancer ever since I've joined.
Ever since we went on Eric's channel.
Yeah.
Honestly, it has ever since then. Oh man, that's amazing.
I didn't really think I was ever going to admit that on this, but I mean, I didn't say anything to get anybody in trouble or expose anybody, but that's still one of the most hilarious things that ever happened to me on Snapchat involving a NASCAR driver.
I'm gonna screen share really quick, and then I'll tell you that you want to get more male fans on. You just need to be like this in the marketing more. There you go. That's all you need. Just that picture for the marketing. Just be like, okay, now watch. And then you'll just see trolls like Cole Custer.
Yeah, what Incarnation says, we went from Dover predictions to dick pics.
Kind of.
That's what happens when I'm the host. That's what happens when you're on this channel.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about him? You know what's funny about him pointing that out?
Yeah,
he's 12.
Yeah, he is.
Does your mother know about
some? We got some young viewers in here. Yeah, I totally forgot. We got like 12 and 13-year-olds in here. Hey,
well,
don't show your parents this.
We are getting to the point where we're past PG hours and we're into TV 14. So
yeah,
we're in the Walking Dead's time slot right now, guys.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah. My god, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I promise you two, I will not show it on the stream. I swear I will not show you on the stream. I'm sorry, but when we get done, I've got the screenshot still on my phone. I will show these two.
Hey.
Oh, drama. Oh, if this person's still racing around, and like if I see him in Chicagoland, it's gonna be like one of those. Oh God.
But you two will never say anything.
No, I promise.
If you meet this driver, you will never say anything.
Nothing here. Promise.
Okay.
There, I got you. So, all right. So let's get off of that. Now that that's over with. Now we're done with that.
Now everyone's going through how old they are. Great.
Yeah. They went. That's the second time. I think we were when you brought up the Generation Z or whatever.
No, they're like trying to correct me on like how old it was, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be a millennial, so I'm pretty damn sure I'm not.
All right, so let's move on. And so we already made our Dover predictions. We already talked about NASCAR being up for sale.
We talked about the kids being born.
Yes. So why don't we discuss the young guns and how disappointing they have been this season up to this point? Because I remember somebody, I think it was What Incarnations earlier. One of his earlier comments was, the youth movement is dead, and it pretty much is. Because if you go take a look at the point standings, the only two young guns that are inside the top 10 are just Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney. And Kyle Larson has had he's had a pretty off year up to this point. They've taken a step back. And Ryan Blaney, while he has been consistent, he just hasn't been up front leading laps really and, competing for wins. I mean, he's just been competing for top 10s pretty much. So I'm going to say like my biggest youth movement, the biggest disappointment out of the youth movement so far this season has been none other than Eric Jones. I mean, I started out the season. I predicted him to win 4 races, believe it or not. I mean, I look like a fool. I mean, he started off really strong. I think last year. I mean, he joined Front Row's second team, which doesn't exist anymore now that he's gone.
I think that'll be coming back in like a year or two.
Oh, really?
Because there's too many other drivers like in the Gibbs system, like Christopher Bell, that they're going to want to get in soon. But are they really going to want to kick out Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch right now?
No, probably not. So back to back to him. Yeah, Eric Jones has just been a huge disappointment. I mean, he's inside the chase and the playoffs now. He's inside the playoffs. He's 13th in the standings. I don't even know if he's there anymore. He might be lower than that. And I mean, it really showed how disappointing the season has been so far when he finished behind Casey Kane last race. I mean, you're in Joe Gibbs equipment, you're in the 20 ride, and you finish behind, what's the team's name? Levine Family Racing. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Joe Schmo down the street racing.
I'll say this as far as like young guns and up and comers go. The one that's disappointing me is for an opposite reason, because of the fact that he doesn't have a full-time ride right now, is Ryan Preece. I don't understand how this guy isn't your future for Joe Gibbs Racing instead of somebody like Brandon Jones, who has not really done much at all in Xfinity right now.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Brendan Jones has a full-time ride and Ryan Preece doesn't?
Yeah, and Ryan Preece has got at least one win. He won a race last year too, and he's probably going to get some more wins this year, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say you got to move him up into Joe Gibbs, they got too many drivers in the pipeline right now.
They honestly have hurt themselves. They flooded themselves with too much talent. And honestly, one of the blessings for them is that William Byron went to Hendrick because of the fact that gave them more room to get a few other ones mixed in.
I mean, that's like a pretty good situation to be in, though. Like, oh, man, we have too many talented drivers. We'll probably have to give some up. But, I mean, it could be worse. It could be Roush Racing, and you could have nobody. So, I mean, at least you can say for Joe Gibbs, like, oh, man, we got all of these young, talented drivers. Remember, I put a quote, talented. So, but yeah, Christopher Bell will probably, like you just said, he'll probably be in the second car for Furniture Row.
And it may get to a point where basically they run it like the second Gibbs, and we may eventually see the 77 come back. We may see the 87. You never know.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, some guys in the comments, they're saying they really brought up William Byron a lot. I could say, I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to remember he's only 20 years old. So.
He's only in his rookie year. I give all rookies a rookie pass. So
yeah, I mean, but here's the thing: after Daytona, I looked at my Casey Atwood video, and some people were actually comparing him to Casey Atwood. I'm like, after one race, I think it was after the first 4 races of the season. I'm like, you guys are insane.
I think he's the biggest disappointment to me right now. And granted, Kyle Larson went just as long as he has so far without getting his first win, but it's got to be Chase Elliott. He was expected to already have a win by now.
We're going on 3 years, and from the looks of it, Hendrick is not getting any better. I don't really see them getting any better with this new Camaro and stuff. I really don't see any Chevy teams really getting all that good this season, at least for this year. Maybe next year they'll turn it around, but I don't see him winning a race this year, and that's really unfortunate because I had high expectations. I know you had him picked in your predictions.
I had him. I felt bad because I put way too much confidence in him when I really should have considered more about how the Camaro was. And Camaro has, other than Daytona's the only race that Chevy's won this year.
I mean, granted, Chase Elliott, you can at least give him this. I mean, the past 2 seasons he's been consistent, but I mean,
he has, and he still has had a few good finishes. He finished 3rd at Talladega, 2nd at Richmond. I mean, he's still done as good as I think he's done in the past few years. But that's the thing; it's his 3rd year. He needs to be winning races now.
Look, consistency can only get you so far. Okay, like you at some point you gotta just win at least one race. Like it would be a totally different situation. Let's say if he was entering this season with at least just one win. I mean, at least one win. It would be
here's the thing. These drivers that have come into Hendrick, you name me one driver in recent memory for Hendrick Motorsports that didn't win a race. Maybe I think didn't win a race for him while he was racing. Maybe Joe Nemechek is the only one I can really think of, but Jerry Nadeau, Brian Vickers, Casey Mears, all of them won races for him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about them.
Kyle Busch won a race for him. Mark Martin and Casey Kane won races for him. Brad Keselowski didn't really count. He wasn't there long enough, but technically in his years with Hendrick talent, he still won a race technically, but I don't know.
I mean, Brian Vickers definitely comes to mind, even though, I mean, being a junior fan, I still hate that race. I mean, he at least won one, and man, I mean, when you really sit back and take a look,
there are not many drivers that didn't get at least one win for Rick Hendrick.
Yeah, I can't really think of like someone who hasn't won a race for Rick Hendrick that's ran for him. I can't really think of one off the top of my head right now.
Yeah,
I'm a little puzzled. Yeah, I know.
So that's actually a lot of pressure on them when you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Bowman, 0 wins. William Byron, I mean, gets the rookie pass, and Chase Elliott about to get going.
And in a way, I'm giving Bowman a rookie pass because this is his first year with decent equipment. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think Hendrick's gonna have. They're not gonna be in a situation. I don't think where they're gonna end up being Roush Racing. I don't think they're in that situation.
Someone said Randy LaJoy never won for Rick Hendrick.
Same with Ricky Craven, Wally Dallenbach.
Oh yes,
but still,
Schrader won for Hendrick.
Still though,
Schrader won 4 races.
Still though, you have to go to the very early days of Hendrick. Now, the modern day Hendrick, though, there have not been many drivers who didn't get at least one win.
Casey Mears.
Riddle me this. Yeah. Riddle me this. Who was the first driver in any NASCAR series to win for Hendrick?
Oh, Jeffrey Bodine, wasn't it?
Nope.
Oh, hold up. Dale Earnhardt?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Busch series.
Yeah, that's right. I remember reading about that. Yeah.
Hendrick needed help because he couldn't get a driver, so Dale Earnhardt jumped in and I think won Bristol.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, so fun fact for you guys who didn't know that. Now, Jeffrey Bodine won the first Cup race for them.
Yes.
Dale
Earnhardt. It's an Earnhardt tradition to run for Hendrick.
Yeah. So if you guys don't believe us, look that up. But just take our words for it. I think we know what we're talking about in this case. So
hear that, Isla Rose? You're going to be driving for Hendrick.
Yeah. I wonder. Oh yeah, I remember that story. When Junior was young, him and Hendrick signed like a contract on like a napkin or something like that. Yeah. I wonder if once she gets older, I wonder if he'll probably do the same thing with her. Maybe.
Yeah, probably
honestly, maybe by the time that she's old enough to consider racing, Junior Motorsports will be in Cup by then.
Yeah, they've been in Cup, I think, a while ago. To be honest.
Yeah.
Do what Stuart Haas has done.
I think that with this kind of businessman that Junior is, he's probably looking for the right opportunity, because right now, with sponsorship dollars being so tough to come by anywhere, I mean, we kind of take for granted, oh, it's Dale Jr., he can get sponsorship, but we don't remember that back in 2015 until about 2014 till about the Richmond race, it was unsure if he'd have a sponsor the rest of the year. So yeah. I mean,
I remember that. There was 2010, the year they had the 88 car, which was being split by numerous drivers like Sadler, Earnhardt Jr., McMurray, Kelly Byers, and I think even Tony Stewart ran a couple of races with that one. A lot of drivers split that one, and then the 7 car was half Danica Patrick and half like Josh Wise and a couple of other people. There was quite a few races when they just put on Danica's green GoDaddy wrap, but obviously no GoDaddy sponsorship, just like the Junior Motorsports logo. And I mean, there was struggles to find funding for some of those cars in the early years of them. So, so Junior, his name doesn't always guarantee a sponsor.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, that 5 ride before Michael Annette came in and had the flying. Trouble.
Yep, forgot about the 5 car.
Yeah, so if it wasn't for him, that ride would probably go unsponsored.
Yeah.
Kid from Georgia said that I guess Junior on Twitter the other day said he has no plans anytime soon to move on.
Right,
and that's his sister talking too.
Yeah,
his sister runs everything.
They don't have any plans right now, but I mean, consider this: Isla Rose, born last week, so that's 20 years down the road. So anything can change by then.
I think they'll be in Cup before then, though. If we're gonna talk about that.
They were talking about this past a few weeks ago on the Dale Jr. download about age limits and stuff, because I know a lot of NASCAR media has become so I don't think pansy is the right word, but so soft. It's like we should have age limits. Like you can't be like until you're 18 to drive in the trucks, or until you're 21 in Cup or whatever. It's like
Kyle Busch, one of the best drivers in NASCAR history.
Yeah,
was 16 when he got his first ride. Cole Custer was 16 when he got his first Truck Series ride. And Casey Atwood, who's a bust, but at the time was coming up, was only 17 when he made his first Busch Series start. We're really going to start having age restrictions on racing.
You had a pretty good video, I think last week, about Rob Moroso being 20 years old when he won the Busch Series championship, and at that time, that was unheard of.
Yeah, that was like he was the only kid doing it big like that back in the day, pretty much.
But it's like NASCAR media is like, we need age restriction. Junior's talking about that, and he's like, well, I think it should sort of be a self-policing. I like his deal. It should be kind of self-policing. Like, there's like 13-year-olds and late models who are kicking ass, but then there's also 13-year-olds who get a rich daddy and are like, oh yeah, this looks like a good enough car. Yeah, go for it. And it's like they have no idea what they're doing and crashing, and it's self-policing, because by the time they're done, it's like, no, you're no more. Like, you're not here.
Yeah. But I don't get, I mean, what's the problem with having, I mean, I can understand if like a 16-year-old rich kid gets like a Truck Series ride just because of who he is. But yeah, but I mean, after a few races, after him crashing, I'm sure they're not going to re-sign him back and stuff, I guess. I mean, that's the only way I could see us having in like a little age restriction. But I don't really see the point of it, to be honest.
It's like they're trying to take every single thing and just change it, because
trying to make rules for everything. It's annoying.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like NASCAR has built itself on being sort of this, no holds bar, you know, hit each other, you know, fights, all this stuff. And then the last 10 years, it's like, we need to be a family show. It's like, no. I mean, I heard the F-bomb when I was like 5 years old watching a Vikings-Packer game. I don't think I'm too horribly, you know, scarred for life by it.
Yeah, that's another problem. It's just too censored.
Oh yeah, you can hear all these different cuss words and stuff, but God forbid you show a tit on TV.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, it's not really something that's that bad, guys. I mean, I get that it don't mean shit. Oh nope, $25,000 just that went out my pocket just now.
Yeah.
I hope, I mean, I just hope when the new ownership group comes in, we can really speak with the drivers and the fans. Just talk about getting rid of some of these stupid rules. You know, I mean, you gotta, I mean, yeah, I completely understand you have to have rules in a sporting league and stuff and also regulations, but there comes a time when it's like, okay, enough is enough. You know what I mean? Just like enough's enough.
We need to get an attitude era for NASCAR.
Oh yeah, like the WWE had.
Need to stop making rules where rules aren't needed. You know, there's like so many damn rules and stuff. I bet you if they made, like, just say with the cars, they made the rules more lenient, I bet you'd see a hell of a lot better racing.
Yeah, they probably would.
Because like an adjustable spoiler, maybe. I mean, it wouldn't make a huge difference. It might make it worse, but it could make it a lot better. I mean, I know in the early 2000s they had one.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right about that. And early 2000s had some of the best racing.
Michigan, the Xfinity series back in the day, they put on an adjustable spoiler for the cars. So you had cars that some of them were really good to get drafted with, while others were really good to draft up to. And it was a hell of a race. You know, you could have maybe one of the ears on or none of them or all or both of them. But it's like, it was a really fun race to watch.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Michigan and Xfinity series, if I'm not mistaken, this year when they go there, I think they're going to be running the same package that they had at Indianapolis last year, so that should be a pretty interesting race.
Yeah, and I know there was rumors they might put on plates on the cars too.
What was the package they had at Indianapolis?
There was a ton of shit on it. If I remember
it was
right.
They had like a plate. They had the air that created just great racing. Like the final battle there between Byron and Menard was one of the best that I've seen in a long time.
We see how BM said, "Oh, did you see Radman's video about the X3 car?" I saw a little bit of it.
I think X3 has kind of been pushed to the side, but
I mean, what is X3 though? Is that what they're working on as a new car for?
It's pretty much a test car for. It looks like the Gen 6, but that's basically what they call their test cars. Yeah, I like everyone in the chat here. Team Valence. Yeah, I think we should, if we ever do like a collab video, it should be on something like about the Valence and just be like a comedic thing. Like, hey, do you think this would happen with the Valence? Show Carl Edwards at the All-Star race. Or how about this? Yeah. And then show like Junior's car at Texas exploding. Or how about this? And then just keep going through a bunch of them and be like, Team Valence for a better, safer sport.
It's funny because I'm sitting here looking at the diecast of Dale Jr.'s last ride here, and it's such a round car in the front that I really do think a Valence would be perfectly fine on a car like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they could just, because I know the cars now are different sizes, but if they could just adjust the bodies to be kind of like Keon Daly said, like to revert back to being like a Gen 4 car a lot. Those things were so aerodynamically sensitive, but at the same time were a hell of a car to race with.
Yep.
Same with what's Bevo 2455 says team ride height. Yeah, this whole no ride height thing.
It's just dumb.
Idea. Like who were they? Who told who this and why? Was it like one of the drivers like, I'm telling you, we don't need a ride height. Like it'll be perfect. I swear, it'll be better racing.
Yeah, AB6.
Ride height. Go ahead. Sorry. Ride height is something that you have got to be able to adjust and fix right, because I've been doing a lot of iRacing lately, and one thing I like to do is do some dirt races, but mostly just do some dirt like testing sessions and trying new setups. And one thing I'm learning is that I've got to adjust my tires and sizing right in order to get that car be smooth. Like, you need so much more height on your left front wheel in order to support yourself in a turn on a dirt track car. Because it's when you go into a turn on a dirt track car, especially a late model, you flatten down a lot in the left front because you're hitting you're pressurizing the brakes more, and you're using your back wheels to propel yourself around a turn more. That's the kind of stuff in a race car you've got to be able to play with. And same thing for a asphalt stock car too.
I like what Corvette Racing 48 and where's he at? And I'm So Epic 8 said is basically Gen 7 needs to be a Gen 4 2.0. Like you can make the safety changes they made in these cars while having a similar body type and engine and stuff, like and everything sort of similar. I mean, what's the stuff they did with it? A lot of it was moving the driver to the center and making the roofs higher up. You can put the driver a little lower in the car and keep them closer to the center, like in this. You have so many safety adjustments now. You honestly could go back to the 2003, 2007 bodies, and they'd still be safe, especially if you did the certain, like, because I think they did certain different changes to different parts of the car, so they crush easier or wouldn't crush as much with different ones. So I would love that, but yeah, I don't think they will do that, but I think they can do that if they wanted to, because the racing with those cars was freaking phenomenal.
Okay, so I guess I want to answer this one guy's question. Comes from from Tyler. It says, "Who's the best young driver in y'all's opinion?" I'm wondering because I want to hear a non-biased answer. Please.
Kyle Larson for sure.
Yeah, I would have to say Larson, just because, I mean, look at how any of his races at Homestead. I mean, that guy has a car that is not as good as the people he's racing against. He is driving that car probably harder than anyone else up there. I mean, he's skirting the right rear off the wall. I mean, I just think that, or watch any of his Bristol races. This guy has so much talent, and it's being wasted at Ganassi.
I equate Kyle Larson to Tony Stewart in a way. He can be competitive on Sunday in NASCAR, but then go during the week to run a sprint car and then still be as competitive there. Doesn't matter what he seems to be getting into. He's going to be hanging around the front really for the most part. And in a way, it's still early, but I'm kind of thinking that in a few years, we're going to say the same about Christopher Bell. He's kind of got a similar background to Kyle Larson. He still gets out and he does really good on these dirt tracks. And he's still doing really good in the Xfinity Series. He won the Truck Series championship last year. I want to see it take some more time, but I could see Christopher Bell being in a similar situation in a few years.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I mean, I guess and I mean, I'm kind of weighing between Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson, but I mean, if you're gonna talk about like overall career wise, yes, Kyle Larson, he has more wins, and I find this statement funny from a kid from Georgia. If Larson didn't have his engine issues in the chase, he would have won the championship. Yeah, I don't know about all that, but Truex probably would have still won it. But anyways, if we're gonna go off of just this season, just the best young driver out of so far in 2018, I think you have to go with Ryan Blaney. I have to agree with the Iceberg here. Larson's career is being wasted over at Ganassi. I mean, can you imagine him in like a Joe Gibbs car from his rookie year on to now? He definitely.
I don't want to. He'd kill him.
I mean, shoot, he's just always kind of been that way where he could run good in poor equipment. He did really good and brought in good sponsorship to Turner Scott Motorsports in a time where they were starting to fail.
I don't even want to imagine. I mean, I'm just imagining it now. I mean, think about it. If you got a full-time Cup Series ride for the 2014 season and to now with Joe Gibbs. But Kyle Busch would certainly not have as many wins in that time span. Kyle Larson would certainly take some of his wins he has now. He would definitely have more than 5 career wins. Let's see, 2014 to 2018. I would say, 14, 15, 16, 17, 5 seasons. I would say he probably, in Joe Gibbs equipment, would be up to 20 wins by now. I'm just calling. I mean, you even saw it in his rookie season too. I mean, he he was that team was not up to par yet, really, until last season, and he was still running that car up front. I mean,
if it wasn't for Dale Jr. running into him on pit road at Michigan, he would have been in the chase that year, and he was very competitive that year.
And he beat Austin Dillon. I remember everyone was talking about in that offseason, well, Austin Dillon's going to take over. He's taking over the 3. All the talk was about him. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. No. Yeah. Larson pretty much obliterated him that season.
I called that at Daytona. I saw how he was. I mean, he wasn't terrible in 2013 when he did a Homestead race, and I was like, man, if he can do this with Ganassi's like shit part-time car, like I don't want to see what he can do with like good equipment. And I know the rumor for a while was that he was going to replace Kane in the 5 car. Can you imagine him with Hendrick when Hendrick was good?
Yeah, Hendrick really wanted him, but it just worked out more in favor for Ganassi.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching his first race, and I think it was Charlotte 2013. Yeah, I mean, because it was already announced he was going to replace Montoya. He finished 16th that race. I was like, wow.
See, Larson, when Larson first came into NASCAR, it was he was in the 32 Clorox car at Daytona. Ultimately, he became first well known for that bad crash where his engine come out, and he had 2 ways he could go with that. He could just be known as the guy who lost his motor at Daytona, or he could be known as a winner, and he went out and he became a winner.
Yeah, he's definitely shredded. I mean, he's definitely pushed that that thing to that whole wrecking situation to the side, man. Like, I mean, that was the only reason I had really known him for. And then like a few weeks later, he ends up winning at Rockingham in the Truck Series. I'm like, oh, well, he's actually pretty good. I mean, he's actually pretty.
I mean, he was bringing sponsorships to a team that needed it. He was bringing sponsorships that belonged to somebody else. He had Snickers when they were obviously with Kyle Busch for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty marketable too. I mean, he's a nice guy. I've met him in person. The guy's definitely a nice guy.
Yep. I think what was probably the coolest thing about him is that he was in the Truck Series and running Eldora in a Clorox car that was made to look like it was a little bit dirty already, and then he got all the dirt on it. I just thought that was one of the most unique like sponsorship combinations for a track. Clorox bleach at a track where it's going to get nothing but dirt all over it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Let's see. Nick Saint says 16 says Jeff Gordon at one point wanted Kyle Larson to replace him, but he was already with Ganassi. I can't even really imagine that. I mean, that would be a pretty cool story. I mean, the 24 would probably keep on winning today.
Yeah. Why take the 2-4? We can have the 4-2. So.
Yeah. I mean, technically, he's running the 24 just in reverse. If you're
he's running 24 if you're dyslexic.
Yeah, if you're dyslexic, he's running the 24 car. So there you go. Timmy Hill,
drink up.
Now, Timmy Hill he also said Timmy Hill's the most talented driver in the league right now. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I got to agree with him on that one.
Completely unbiased.
Yeah, I know. Totally unbiased, man. I didn't even know Timmy Hill had fans, to be honest with you.
Someone asked, why is Chip Ganassi in NASCAR? Because he's got money and he loves racing.
Remember, it used to be Felix Sabata's team. I think that's his name right. It used to be his team, and then they took it over in 2001. Remember, Kenny Irwin Jr. was basically supposed to drive for the team as well before he passed away. I think that's one of the main reasons he bought the team too, because he saw probably a young potential driver there. I mean, do you think? I mean, yeah, he wanted to be in NASCAR, but he probably wanted to come into the right situation. I'm talking about Chip Ganassi right now. He wanted to come into the right situation. I mean, do you think he just bought that team because Sterling Marlin was on the team? I mean, you have to remember at that time Sterling Marlin hadn't won a race in about since 1996 at Daytona. So it had been a while. I mean, I'll probably make a video on him pretty soon. I'm not going to make a bus video on him though. But I'll probably make like a Gone Too. I'm going to call it a Gone Too Soon series where I'm going to talk about some drivers that have passed away. I'll probably do a video on him.
Well, I mean, had it not been going back to Marlin, had it not been for an injury, he very well could have won the 2002 title over Tony Stewart. I mean, he was leading the points when he went out.
Yeah. He wasn't leading. I think he had lost the points lead for maybe a little bit. He was still right around the top 3 though. He was
he was in championship contention with Martin and Stewart.
Yeah, he led the points lead. I mean, he was leading the points the whole season. That's why I say we need to go back to a traditional point system. I mean, because back then every race mattered. I forgot to mention that as well. If you take away the chase, if you take away a playoff thing, I mean, the regular season pretty much goes away and it just becomes the whole season. Literally every race matters. I mean, why do you think every race back then was sold out? Yeah, NASCAR was booming, but also every race pretty much mattered. Like, it didn't matter if it was the Daytona 500 or just the race at Rockingham. It really didn't matter because, I mean, every race pretty much mattered. But
yeah,
I just hope that, they make these changes and we can go back to a traditional point system. You guys might be differently on it. You guys might.
No, I'm with you. I want traditional. I made a whole video on what would happen. Granted, and I did put in, like, I think in the comments, like, I know it wouldn't be just like it.
Yeah, I saw that. And probably the greatest points battle that never was the 2006 season.
Yeah,
I mean,
because Kenseth, I think, would have been the leader going in, and Johnson would have won by 4 points. And so to say that they would be racing differently, they would have raced the exact same way. I mean, because they were both against each other for a title. Same with Edwards and Johnson in 2008. Everyone thinks Kyle Busch would have won. He fell off like a freaking rock.
Yeah.
At the end of 2008, he would have finished third in points. I mean, Junior was running top 5 in points. He would have finished 7th because he fell off. That's the thing that people don't think of with the full series championship. It's like, oh, it'll just be someone clinching at the, like Gordon would have in 2007. He would have clinched and won by like 600 points or whatever. And there's those. But then there's also ones where, like, Marlin leads all year, and then, granted, because of an injury, but could have fallen off after that and could have been a complete non-factor after dominating the year. You just don't know who gets hot. I mean, Alan Kulwicki in 1992 with 7 races left was over 400 points back, and came up and won in a 6-car championship battle that had no manipulation whatsoever.
I mean, that was just true racing back then too. And I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, the whole reason that the whole points was changed was because Kenseth won the championship and he only won 1 race. I mean, if you ask me, I really don't care if you only win 1 race, to be honest with you. I mean, it's all about consistency, in my opinion. It's the fairest way to crown a champion. I really didn't see a problem with it, even at the time. Like, I don't know, he's just better than everyone else. Like,
I made a video about that too, because everyone kept saying how he didn't deserve it and that Ryan Newman did. It's like Newman had like 10 DNFs that year.
And shoot, for that matter, 2014, there was a potential for Ryan Newman to win a championship that year without ever winning a race. And then I think you mentioned when Austin Dillon won his Nationwide Series championship, that he didn't even win a race that year. I mean, and that's kind of why they ended up going to like the chase for them too.
Well, he probably would have won if there weren't as many cup leeches. He probably would have at least won a race. True,
that was a worse time back then.
Yeah, now it's like they're almost non-existent.
Which is good. I can't remember the last time that Kyle Busch was in a Nationwide Series race or a Truck Series race.
Well, he's going to be in the Truck Series this weekend. So,
since he's retired from Cup, would that mean that Junior wouldn't count as a leech this year?
No. I think at this point he's just Junior showing up when he wants. So
yeah,
it'd be funny if he just showed up on the entry list one week with like no fanfare whatsoever.
Yeah. What races is he going to run?
Say a secret.
What races?
Richmond for sure.
As of now, it's only Richmond for sure.
Yeah, but he's running another one, isn't he?
Yeah, he said he'd run 2.
No, I think he said actually 4, but those haven't been announced.
Oh, I want him to run the truck race at Talladega, but I know because of the concussion stuff, he's probably just going to stick at short tracks.
I will assume, since he was in it last year, he's going to do the night race at Bristol too. So
yeah,
he likes that one. He'll probably do Charlotte, and then
like the Roval Charlotte.
Oh, that's right, it's a Roval. So maybe
it is one this year.
Probably not. Let's see. He always did a lot of Vegas races, so maybe that one. Unless there's not one at that point. I don't know how the schedules line up. God, I don't know.
Right.
Whenever I remember him doing race, Texas maybe. Texas is one he always did.
Yeah, Texas. That might be.
I don't think he's going to do many high speed tracks with the whole concussions. If that's the biggest reason why he's out,
He might would do Daytona. I don't know.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think his wife would let him do that, to be honest with you.
Pretty much.
Well, we're getting close to 10:30 here, but you guys want to go over some chats until 10:30 and then go ahead and start wrapping it up?
Yeah, pretty much. I was just about to say, let's maybe you guys ask us any sort of questions and we will answer them. Well,
let's try and do it where something we can do rapid fire a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, for the sign out thing, I'll just sort of pull up my my sign out deals.
Okay, so Tag Nation asked, DannyBTalks, would you like the idea of NASCAR racing at Long Beach?
Maybe not necessarily the Cup Series, maybe the lower series.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm about the same with that.
Maybe they can go the same weekend as IndyCar. No, no, probably not. Okay, so who's a bigger bust? Blake Feast, Boston Reed, or Kyle Chris? How do you say his name? Krisloff? I don't know. This is interesting because they all ran the 5-car in the Busch Series in 2005. Blake Feast is probably the biggest one. If you don't know who Blake Feast is, Google him, and he's the one who ran into his own pit crew at ARCA at Daytona. That's the guy. They gave a ride. I mean, if somebody did that and they were racing for me, sorry, you're fired, man. I don't even know how that happened, to be honest with you. I mean, who do you guys think is the bigger bust?
I don't know.
I'll say Blake. I'll say Blake Feast.
I'll just go with that.
Outside of Christopher Bell, which driver deserves to be moved to the Cup? I said it earlier. He deserves something at least full time, but honestly, the way he's been performing, I would say Ryan Preece. By all means, give him the 77 car at this rate.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. I mean, I really don't see anyone else filling in that ride. Maybe, now this is going to sound crazy, maybe just for like a one-off race, since he did help that team grow, Regan Smith, I would like to see race for them. Maybe in like a one-off race somewhere. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who will win the Roval race this fall?
Kyle Busch.
I really do think Kyle Busch, he has never won a point series race at Charlotte, and he has become a good road course racer. That could be the one where he gets it done. He was actually my pick in my prediction series.
Yeah, I wanted to say Daniel Suarez, but that probably won't happen.
Like heart and soul, yes, it'd be great to see AJ Allmendinger, but I just don't think he's going to.
Yeah, AJ Allmendinger, they call him a road course ringer, but honestly, if you look at his past stats, I don't know, his past races, that both of them, he hasn't really been all that. And
fallen off.
He starts off leading a lot at a place like Sonoma, but he can't keep the race together the whole time.
Yeah, he just can't finish it. And I don't know, just look at his team. Look at the team he's racing with. I don't even know how he's still in the Cup Series. I mean, 1 win and how many starts. You know, yeah.
If Kroger says they're going to pay for him, then Kroger is going to pay for him. So.
Hey, by all means, man. You're right. I mean, as long as they put money in the team's pockets, he's here to stay. Let's see another one. NASCAR busts in the new millennium.
Oh,
Gray Galding.
Yeah, definitely Gray Galding. That's a lot. That's a lot to think about.
Andy Houston.
Yeah, Andy Houston, Casey Atwood,
Colin Braun.
Yeah, him. We just said Blake
Kwasniewski.
James Travis Pastrana. Oh,
yes, Travis Pastrana.
Oh, I remember somebody told me once, like when he a Talladega race, they're like, "Watch that Pastrana guy. He's gonna be the future of the sport." Like, he's incredible. Not 5 laps later, he runs into a crash that was like half a straightaway ahead of him, because back then it was 2-car draft. And I just look at the guy, I'm like, yeah, the future looks grim.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, unless we're going to be drifting our cars all the time, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Well, I do like what he said though. Afterwards, I interviewed him because he used to wear those shirts that would have the NASCAR logo but say "boring."
Yeah.
And they asked him after, they're like, "Oh, so like you said you changed your mind?" He's like, "Yeah, because it's the hardest form of motorsports in the world to do." And I was like,
Now, I don't know if he really ever did it, but Pastrana should consider doing something like sprint cars or late models, as good as he is with like drifting cars experience.
I
That
think
would
he
probably
does
be
dirt. Yeah, I
that
think he
would
does sprint cars.
that would be pretty solid for him.
Here's a good one. One Carnation. Will JJ win?
JJ Yeley, no.
I think it's the other JJ.
Yeah.
I think it's the same guy who's led as many laps as Jeffrey Earnhardt this year.
Oh, Jeffrey Earnhardt's a bust too. You can put him in there.
Jimmy Johnson, as bad as this year is for him, I think they'll get at least one race together, but it may just be one race and that's it.
I think Jimmy Johnson's retiring after the season.
That's what I've been saying since like
Rusty Walrus called it first. He had the whole bobblehead theory video.
I mean, it's not official. It may not be something that's official until the playoffs begin and he's not in it, you know?
Okay, I don't know. Just think about this. It makes sense. Like, Lowe's is leaving after how many years and 7 championships? You think they're just leaving maybe just cuz? Or, I don't know. And maybe it might come out later that Johnson just decided to retire and that's why they're leaving. I don't know. It might be the reason and it might not. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see. What is the retirement age for a modern day NASCAR driver?
About mid-40s.
I think that age is going to go down as they keep getting younger guys in. I think it could go down to even late 30s. You know, it depending on the driver.
Yeah,
late 30s to maybe. I say the 38 to 42 range is going to be the big one for the next few years.
Or you can
I'm looking at Kevin Harvick. I'm looking at Clint Boyer. You know, all these guys, like they're not getting any younger.
Yeah, I mean, or you can just pull a Morgan Shepherd and just race until you're like 85 or basically until you die, really. I don't see him
crash Joey Logano and we'll be good.
Who will replace Jimmy Johnson when he retires? If you look at the current crop of junior motorsports drivers, which is probably where the replacement will come from, I would say Tyler Reddick, honestly.
Yeah, I don't see anyone else replacing him. Well, yeah. if Michael Annett all of a sudden starts winning championships, but of course that will never happen.
Bring that sponsorship money. That's basically what you got to do.
Hey, you know what? I can't imagine the uproar there would be. Who's going to replace the 48? I mean, Jimmy Johnson in the famous 48.
Ty Dillon.
Yeah, or like Ty Dillon. Do you know the uproar that there would be from fans, especially Kamikaze Games? That would be so cool. I'm still waiting for the day that Ty Dillon wins.
Well, you know that Kamikaze's trying to get to Chicagoland, right? And if he's in the infield, like I'll do some reporting, and if Ty Dillon's in the vicinity.
Imagine if we're wrong and somebody like Bubba Wallace left the 43 car to go to that.
Nice.
He deserves the top ride.
Deserves it, man.
Tyler Johnson puts you mean Ty Dildo.
That.
Tyler Johnson puts you mean Ty Dildo? Yes, that's who I meant.
Yes, Ty Dildo. Timmy Hill is climbing into the 48. Yeah. Okay. Hey,
you're funny.
Pigs are flying also.
Yes. The sky is falling as well.
Marcus Ambrose is coming back from Australia to drive it.
Crikey. Will Harrison Burton have a future in Cup from
I was just about to ask you guys that question. Yeah, he has a future.
Yeah, I think Harrison Burton will get to Cup. Whether or not he does is another discussion.
I was thinking of Jeb for a second.
No, Jeb. Jeb, I think is already a NASCAR bust. But
yeah, he's already a bust. But Harrison Burton, he has a future. You just got to time it right. You know, right team, right situation.
You know what I've been discovering since I've been getting my scripts together for my NASCAR Drivers You Forgot About series? A lot of these busts are turning into real estate agents after they've left. Because James Buescher and Dylan Kwasniewski are both doing real estate now.
It's sort of like I guess it's the same situation in the NFL. Guys end up doing like insurance. They end up selling insurance.
Oh, here's one that especially me and Darian will be interested in from Sylvie Gang, will Natalie Decker win a race this year?
No.
Nope. Yeah, I don't think so either.
Now, I did say in the last stream, I think she'll win Daytona next year, and maybe she'll.
Ooh, speaking of Natalie Decker, I saw something interesting on Twitter this week.
Uh-oh.
She posted a tweet that she was at Zaxby's having lunch with none other than Mark Martin, and Mark Martin still has a strong tie with Roush Fenway Racing. Could there be a potential to eventually see her involved in that 60 car?
You know what?
Don't rush her up too quick.
You know what? That's a bad idea, especially now. Maybe after 2 years in ARCA.
That's
what
I'm thinking. Like they could have her on radar to kind of bring that team up a little bit.
Well, remember that. I mean, it was 2005, 2006 when Mark Martin was wanting Joey Logano to replace him. Like Mark Martin has a habit of wanting to get that young, really good talent early. So if it's Mark Martin, I think that he is smart enough to make the right decision on her behalf with it. Because I mean, he has such a big stake at Roush right now, in general. Yeah, I mean, I could totally see 2020, her get pulled into the Roush wing, but hopefully by that time Roush improves.
It could be very well long planned that they want to give Kenseth like 4 to 5 more years and get Decker ready.
Maybe.
I mean, Kenseth, yeah, he didn't officially announce his retirement. I mean, it's possible. So
we'll keep an eye on that, but either way, Decker's having lunch with Mark Martin. That spells potential.
Yes. Oh yeah. So some other news. I don't know if you guys heard this. I saw this on Twitter. So it was reported that Jennifer Jo Cobb may be soon making her Cup Series debut.
What?
With
but here's more. Yeah, here's more though. Here's the reason. According to her, here's the reason why she's not in Cup. This was on Twitter. She said that the only reason that she wasn't in Cup was because she's a woman. And she
good God.
Yeah, and I'm not done yet. And she also said that the only way that she could ever get a Cup Series ride is if she raced as anonymous. How ridiculous is that statement?
Look at Danica Patrick.
I was like appalled by this. I was like, are you kidding me? What have you done?
So freaking demeaning to like every woman who has raced in Cup.
And Jennifer, it has nothing to do about Danica being a pretty girl, because Jennifer Jo Cobb isn't a bad looking woman. I mean, I'll say that she's not a bad looking woman. So I mean, there's nothing to argue there that one girl was pretty or anything. Jennifer, you haven't shown anything.
Well, I mean, Sylvie Gang kind of brings it up. I mean, she could have a point. Anyone can start in Park.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess someone might make the case that, well, she hasn't raced in anything, really. I mean, the only highlights I can
start and parked.
Okay, look, the major highlight of her career that she's most notable for was for Bristol at 2011 when she raced for that one owner, and the owner forced her to start in Park. And she basically was like, well, I'm not going to start in Park. And I don't know.
That was Mike Harmon, I think. They got into a big thing of drama.
Yeah, and they made this a big deal. That's pretty sad. Like, pretty much the rest of her career, pretty much mired by crashes and starting parking and running in the back. Basically,
I hope the damn feminazis don't like get wind of this, or that's going to be.
They probably will.
And then I'm gonna be like, because trust me, if they start trying to get into this thing, I'm gonna be making some really controversial shit.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm with you on that. You won't be the only one. Hell, you know what? That'll probably be my next video too. On that, either the Denny Hamlin bad seasons or probably about what Jennifer Jo Cobb said. I thought that was ridiculous.
I'm gonna look up all the stuff about that, and I think I might make something this week because that's completely ridiculous. The reason that she's not in Cup is because she's not a good driver.
It's not because she's a woman. It's not because of anything else. I think, and Bill Lester said the same thing too. Well, I didn't get a Cup ride because I'm black. Like, really, dude? Come on now.
You sit, Cup car right there.
Yeah, I know. I
didn't make. He went out for 6 races that year and only made 2.
And I'm just looking at that diecast right there. That looks like that's pretty well sponsored with a pretty well recognized brand that would pay a lot of money for that ad.
And
on top of that, Fox, one of the contingency sponsors is Fox Sports. Fox Sports was paying them.
And also, you have to remember, he made his starts in 2006. Do you know who else Waste Management was sponsoring that season? Sterling Marlin. So
they were they went out of their way to sponsor another car for him to race.
Yeah. So look, you had plenty of opportunities. Don't even get me started on the whole. I hate when people use their race and their gender as like an excuse. I don't know. I don't like that.
I just thought of something pretty bad. Maybe Waste Management just knows trash when they see it.
Oh man.
Oh, sponsor Jennifer Jo Cobb this weekend, or I don't know. Whenever she makes her Cup Series, is she qualifying this weekend? I don't know.
I don't know.
Someone said that she was from Kansas or something, so maybe she might be trying to make her debut. But
see, that's what I hate. Like you're saying, like about. I'm just looking up right now to see if there's anything else on this story, but I just hate that when people use their race or their gender as. And by the way, there are 2 genders. That's it.
2 genders.
Well, except for the third one. I'm a Rice Krispie treat, and my pronouns are snap, crackle, and pop.
Yeah.
But I hate when they use that as an excuse. It's like, no, it's because you suck. And she's 44. Like in NASCAR standards, she's old.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's also kind of sad when you think about it too. I mean, NASCAR has been trying to push. They've been trying to push female drivers for years. I mean, let's take a look at the female drivers that have raced in at least one Cup Series race in the new millennium. Shauna Robinson, Danica Patrick, and
I think part of it too is women don't go into racing as much as guys do, and there's such a small amount of drivers who can get into Cup. So when you make that pool even smaller, of course there's only going to be 1 or 2 here or there, because a lot of the good ones either they can't draw a sponsor for some reason or another, or they can't get enough money to start up. It's not that it's because they're a woman, it's because they simply have the same hurdles to jump through as the guys do.
And they're just not successful. I mean, it's been proven they're just not.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm sure you could probably
nothing against women. I mean, but it's true. If women were just as successful as guys in NASCAR, then they would obviously get full-time rides and they would be up front, but they're just not.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Everything has to be.
Yeah, I know everything.
Victim status.
Yeah, I know that's the problem. I mean, I don't know. People, they just want to play victims all the time. They want to blame it on their gender, their race. This is the reason I don't have this. This is the reason I don't have that. I guess that's like not just for NASCAR. That's just for life.
It's just everything.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick. So, all right. So we're just it's 7:30 over here. Or whoa, it's past 7:30. It's like 10:30 where you guys live. So we have time for just I guess we have time for one more question.
Yeah, one more question will be good, and I think it'll be time to get this thing closed.
Here's a loaded question. I'm so epic says, "What's wrong with the world?" A lot.
Everything.
That doesn't count as the last question though. But yeah,
that's a loaded question.
Yeah, loaded question. So let's see. Come on, guys. Last question. Come on, give us a good one. Well, there's one guy said. Yeah, one guy said, "I wonder if Joanna Long is still racing." I think so. Maybe locally.
Yeah, probably.
She was good for the equipment she was given.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's one last.
Not like the Cope girls.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. Oh no! Don't even get me started on them. Okay. Last question. Let's see. I'm looking for a good one. Okay.
Do you know why the pyramids were built?
Rusty Walrus giving that great. Oh, here's one that just a thing from Tag Nation says Herschel McGriff made history this past week by becoming the oldest NASCAR driver in history at 90. He also played the national anthem on, I think, the trumpet.
Really?
And he also found a way to somehow leave his blinker on all race, and there was not even a blinker on the car.
No, okay, really quick, and this is terrible. You seen that video or no, that commercial where it's like the deaf kid meets Denny Hamlin and it's like, I want to race you someday.
Yes.
I looked at my grandpa, I'm like, how the hell is he gonna race? Like, what is the spotter gonna have? Like,
I didn't think about that.
Like, that's what I thought. I was like, I'm sorry, kid. You need your ears.
I'm just imagining someday that like is someone making a video and it's like the kid's like this, and it just goes like this for a little bit. And then it pans out of the car, and there's like 39 wrecked cars, and he's just like comes around the other side.
Oh God! Well, we're all going to hell now. For sure.
I can tell you, I got a condominium complex next to the Lake of Fire.
Granted, I'll say this: deaf people in certain situations can race. There are certain local tracks where they don't even have the ability to do spotters or anything or communications like that, and they could still race in that level of competition. But as far as NASCAR goes, you need to have communication with your spotter, and you can't do that.
So
so he'd be much more better suited as like a 911 operator instead.
Okay, so now we're about to wrap it up. Oh, hold up. I found the last question. Tristan Baker asked, who was the driver on Snapchat? You guys won't find out, but
Timmy Hill fan said, thoughts on Danica saying NASCAR was easy compared to IndyCar?
What? She said that?
He did. She could not have said
that. No, come on.
That was taken completely out of context.
Okay.
I understood what she meant. She said she did say that stock cars are easier to drive compared to an Indy car. That meaning that they are set up better, they run a little bit smoother in the turns, whereas Indy cars are lower to the ground. They do carry a lot more speed to them, and they are a lot more freer to drive. It definitely is probably easier in a way to drive a stock car than it is a Indy car. I'll give her that.
I think the actual question was, is it easier to crash a NASCAR car than an Indy car?
Yeah.
Yes, of course it's easier to crash. Watch.
I think it was just taken out of context with what she said. I think I picked up on what she was trying to say, but it was taken way out of context by most people.
Yeah, I don't really pay that much attention to it, guys.
So the less we hear about her, the better.
Yes, and that'll do it for this from this edition of this live stream. So we're gonna have these two do their outros really quick. So let's get right into it, starting with DannyBTalks.
Yep, guys, it's been fun. No, you're not going to know what my big secret is. That's for me and maybe these two, if I'm nice to them when we're done streaming. But anyways, so my name is Danny from DannyBTalks. I do a lot of NASCAR videos. I'm working on this week. I've got another 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about video I'm going to be working on. I've got it recorded already. Just need to edit the video. I'm also editing. Finally, it's been weeks since it happened, but I'm editing my vlog from the attempted race at Bristol Motor Speedway. So you'll be able to watch that here pretty soon whenever it comes out. And I'll also have a video from the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series at Tazewell Speedway that I got to go attend this past weekend, coming up sometime shortly after that. So other than that, make sure you go hit the subscribe button on my channel. We may be on my channel next week, but we're not entirely sure. We'll have to wait and see what we're going to do. We may put it back on Eric's channel where he's been away at Disney this week. So we'll see. I'll put out a video sometime later this week, and y'all can know for sure on that. But anyways, it's been Danny from DannyBTalks, and I'll see you guys later, and I'll let the Iceberg carry it on over.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the Iceberg, so please subscribe to my channel. I don't know who was it in the chat said, but lick that like button. Please lick it. And then also we got those shirts. So lick that like button shirt on teespring.com, the Emotions of Paul Menard on teespring.com, and the I Died in the Talladega Infield shirt at teespring.com. I'll make a video this week basically as like a 30-second commercial just to tell everyone about that. But and put the links there. But yeah, go do that. And then follow me on Twitter at IceTitan80. You can follow me on gab.ai at Iceberg. And then again, on my channel, the Iceberg, you can subscribe to that. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing this week. I'll do that one video, but with finals and stuff this week and all that, it's not likely I'm going to be doing too much. But I just want to thank everyone for coming on, and remind you again, lick that like button.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for watching today's stream. And don't worry, my stream, my own very own stream will still be going on tomorrow. So since we talked about, the whole situation on the France family selling NASCAR and talking about this week's races, tomorrow's stream for me will be about the future of this channel. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Nothing's going to happen. We're just going to discuss different series that you guys want me to do. And also a big announcement, the possibility of starting a little something that's related to video games on this channel too. I've already asked these guys if they wanted to join, but I'll let you guys know what it is tomorrow. So tune in for that. And also, I just made a Twitter. If you guys didn't see my latest upload, I announced my I'm back on Twitter. So follow me at, well, let me get it up. It's backwards right now, but follow me at Black Flag Matter. I wanted to put Black Flags Matter, but unfortunately Twitter wouldn't let me. So follow me there. So do that. And expect a new upload tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm sure you guys will love it. And also, thank you guys so much on 2,000 subscribers. I mean, it's crazy to think how far this channel has come in just 4 short months. So
2,100 to be exact.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're past 2,100 today. So, and also make sure to subscribe to both of these guys' channels. They're obvious. I mean, they're really good, obviously. And hopefully, let's try and get them past Ultimate Dragon's views. I mean, her subscribers. So
well, just remember that I agreed that when I hit 1,000, I will make a reaction video to me for the first time watching 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah. And every time we get a new 1,000, I'll just do the next cringy movie you guys want. So,
yeah. And I'm really close to 1,000, so I've got to be figuring out something that I've got to do when I reach that
1,000K or 1K sub stream.
See,
I'll jump on as a guest for a bit.
Yeah, see, so you guys go subscribe to their channels. They put out fire content. And
I've been considering this as a 1,000 subscriber special. I like to do some iRacing every now and again. Getting into a test session, but slowly, and I wouldn't condone anyone trying to send a real car, obviously, but slowly consuming some alcohol and seeing how my driving changes.
That'd be interesting. I would watch that. That sounds fun. Really fun. All right, so like I said before, go subscribe to their channels. They got fire content on there. They put it out on a daily. And thank you guys for watching. I think the highest amount of views we had today was in today's stream was around 65, 66. So I don't know if that's the most, but that sure is a lot just for a few guys talking about NASCAR. So be on the lookout for my live stream tomorrow. It'll be at the same time as this one that started today. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.